Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for UK or on the move.
Neves brings it down on the volley. Oh, you must be kidding me! Ruben Neves has just struck a sensational goal. Oh, it's headed in. It's the underdog Doctor who arrives. Oh, the brilliant Belgian in the right place at the right time. Calls it all. That's unbelievable. Matideo has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this?
A very good afternoon and welcome to Molineux, the home of football for the final time this season. It's Matchday Live Extra on what is sure to be an emotional occasion here at the home of football. I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me, as ever, is the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson, and also joining us from home, Chris Awolomo and Claire Hakeman as well. We have plenty of big-name guests for you between now and kick-off. The first part of our show was due to be a bit of a review of the season, but then, of course, events overtook everything on Friday with the announcement that Nuno is leaving by mutual consent after 4 years at the football club. Nuno said, since the first day we arrived at Compton, our ambition was to make a positive change and push this football club forward. And I am proud to say that we did that every single day. We achieved our goals, we did it with passion, and we did it together. Firstly, I want to thank the supporters who've all played such an important part in helping us reach new heights for Wolves, and the people of the city who embraced us and made us feel at home. I, of course, want to thank all of the staff at Wolves for their support and total commitment every single day. Most importantly, I want to thank each and every player that we've worked with since the day we started for their loyalty, their dedication, hard work and talent. They are the ones who have made this amazing journey possible for us. Sunday will be a very emotional day, but I am so happy that the fans will be back in Molineux and we can share one last special moment together as one pack. Well, there was a big crowd outside on Waterloo Road as the team arrived about half an hour or so ago, and a visibly emotional Nuno led the team off the coach and waved to the crowd as they sang songs towards him as he made his way in. Getting past, I guess, the initial reaction and shock of it, Andy Thompson, today is an opportunity to reflect on the last 4 years and where we've moved to as a club, and Nuno will always be a part of that.
Yeah, so look, I think that what he's done at this club, so it's been outstanding. So like the way that he's picked the club up and the direction that he's sent him on. So like you think about that championship season when he come, breath fresh air, the team that he had won the championship, then they've gone into the Premier League and they've held more than their own in the Premier League. So look, whatever he's done, so look, he's been outstanding for this club. So he's done a great job. He's got them pushing, say, like for Europe a couple of times as well. So like in the previous years to this, but yeah, so he's definitely picked up a lot of fans, and you saw what it was like outside. They absolutely love him and the way that it's gone. So look, you take your hat off to him for what he's done for the club and what he means to the people of this city.
It's very rare, Chris Awolomo, that a manager or anybody leaves a football club before probably the time that many of the fan base would want them to.
Yeah, you know, it is very rare, and obviously to get the farewell and the reaction, the positivity around the place that he's getting it just says what a fantastic job, what a great manager, how he's led the club forward, and I think everyone kind of realises, I guess, where Wolves are now. They're in a better place, aren't they? So if a manager, he does his job, and it's one of them, he'll have his own reasons. You know, we won't get into that, but from a football angle, the club is in a fantastic place. You know, whoever's going to come in, they're inheriting a fantastic group of players, and it will have to be someone, I guess, the same philosophy as Nuno to move us forward as well.
Philosophy, Claire Hakeman, is, I guess, always the thing, because you know you need anybody at the forefront of your organisation that can inspire people.
Yeah, and that's totally been Nuno, hasn't it? I think everyone can't help but get quite taken with his personality and the way that he's driven the club forward in the time frame. And obviously, you talk about moments and memories. He's given us 4 years worth ridiculous memories that we've had. Some clubs wait 10 years for this,
Yeah.
and we've been waiting so long for somebody to grab us and take us forward. My little boy's had a season ticket since he's been 6. He's now 10. He's had the Nuno era. We're trying to say, like, this isn't how it's always been as a Wolves fan. We've had tough times, honestly, but it's just been fantastic and a fantastic journey, and we've kind of been lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah, if he'd had to be any older, he would have had the disappointment of watching Chris Owellamo and even older Andy Thompson, which.
Oh no, Tomo was the era. Tomo was the original, the Graham Turner era. That was the other revival, wasn't it? So Graham Turner was amazing times as well. So both of those are massive in my memory as time as a Wolves fan. But the Nuno times have just been ridiculous to how high he's actually got us.
Well, I'm going to ask all three of you at some point inside the next half an hour or so to think back of your personal highlight of the last 4 years. But we thought we'd kind of get the Matchday Live family together on this final day and on this special occasion. And waiting to talk to us is the former Wolves goalkeeper, the former Nigeria international, and a man that we all love. He's a king amongst men. Absolutely. I love him to bits. Carl Ikemi is joining us on Matchday Live Extra here on Wolves TV. I'm hoping he can already hear me. We can't quite see him just yet, but I'm hoping. Can you hear us, Keems?
Yeah, I've got you. You got me.
There he is. My friend, I guess kind of your reflections really on the news of the last couple of days and your experiences, because Nuno arrived at what was a very difficult personal moment for you.
Yeah, I think like everyone was a little bit surprised at the news, but then I suppose when I kind of reflected on it, maybe I don't know what, I've not spoke to Nuno, but maybe he thought that it might just be time for him to move forward or take a step back. It's been a difficult season this year, but not a bad one necessarily, but a difficult one. And maybe it's just time for him to move on and to move on in new directions. But yeah, on a personal level, he was brilliant with me. I only got to meet him probably for a week or so before I got him to my treatment, but he's always stayed in contact with me. I remember him calling, speak to him every couple of months, really, him asking how I am, asking how the treatment's going, and sort of saying he can't wait to get back, along with the staff as well, that were really kind as well. And I remember they had a bit of a sticky period just after Christmas. I think it was like February, March, and then he rang me for some advice, funnily enough, to sort of ask with the amount of game load on the championship season, how to play it like. And I sort of remember just sort of saying to him, which I'm sure the lads would agree with what my point was at the time, is that it was just about results then, and to sort of slow down with the training, necessarily not worry about the performance necessarily. So there's always Kate stayed in contact every time I see him. There's always a lot of love there, and it's always gone a long way with me. Always feel welcome. Always probably moaned at me for not coming in more often, in all honesty. So I've always had a great relationship with Nuno, and obviously sad to see him go.
Stay there, Carl. We're going to bring in another member of the Matchday Live family, Sam Ricketts, waiting to join us here as well. And as he does, I wonder, Keems, about the impact that Nuno had on some of the players. Obviously, you were very close to the likes of Connor Cody and Matt Doherty, who have been there for the majority of it, who were probably two of the players who've benefited most in the last couple of years. Yeah,
definitely. I think they've really equipped themselves well, and it's down to Nuno and his team. Obviously, they need to take Nuno and Codes and Doc need to take a lot of credit too, because they've generally put the work in and got there. But it's also the belief that Nuno showed in them two players, along with others as well, that might not have carried on the journey with us the full way, but He's improved everyone who's come into that team and that squad and the club as well. Improved the mentality of the club, and I think I put something out on Twitter when I heard the news. I think he's created a blueprint of how Wolves will try and play for the foreseeable future. I think the way that the club's set up now is in the training ground, and the way that they go about their business, I think, will be all down to Nuno. You sort of seeing a change of culture at Wolves, and he's played a massive role in that. And like they said, the way that kind of gone on to Tottenham, Codes is in the England squad, Jota's moved on to Liverpool. You know, he's improved every player that's come to the club, so he's been great for us.
Sam, good to see you as ever. You've got a unique perspective really on all this, because you were in and around the club working, I guess, when he first came around, and then you've actually managed against him in the last 4 years and then become a part of our team. So what's your kind of take on the news the last couple of days, and what it was like with your interactions with him?
Yeah, really just jumping on the back of what Keames was saying there. Keames was talking from a player's point of view. If I look at a coaching point of view, he's lifted the whole club, the whole standard. I'm talking the 23s, the whole academy, everyone, not just way of playing, his training methods, everything. The injury prevention, behind the scenes, which only no one at Wolves has seen. Not many people in the country had seen what Nuno introduced, and now it's been taken over and trying to adapt and maintain it now for years to come. Because this season's an anomaly that way, but Wolves' injury record has been amazing over the last couple of years, and it's because of the different techniques. So away from developing players, he's also developed all the staff at the club. With me, he's brilliant. He's got a persona. Anyone who's met him or been around, fortunate enough to be, he's very single-minded. He knows what he wants to do, and that can cost sometimes. But I just went and knocked on his door and said, "Listen, can I watch? Can I learn?" And he was no problem. You can learn watch anything you want to do. There's no secrets. Ask any questions.
Sam, just stay there. Keames, we're going to let you go, but very quickly, what would be your highlight of the last 4 years, do you think?
I think probably the initial promotion, really. I think there was such a buzz around what he produced over that season. And I know the Europe Cup run and the FA Cup run was incredible, and they were up there as well. But I think that was really the blueprint to kind of what we went on to achieve as a club going forward. So I think the initial season excitement of some new players coming in, and it kind of all. I think that was probably my excitement that kind of laid the foundations for the success that we've had today.
Okay, Carl, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, my friend. Get back to your Sunday afternoon.
The kids have just walked in. Take it easy, fellas.
See you later, boy.
See you later.
Thank you, Carlo Keamy. Sam, I guess it's an interesting situation, isn't it? Because look, you've been through a similar thing as a manager, where there is always a realization, I guess, whenever you take any job that nothing is forever. No,
and I think that's probably the hardest thing to take in, because as a manager, you want to be there a long time. You want it to implement, and Nuno's done that. He's been amazing, and I don't know if he or the club, whichever way around, it feels like it's kind of like come to the air journey, whether it's him wanting to push more than the club, or the club holding him back, or vice versa. Either way, he's done an amazing job for the club. Like I said, from the players on the pitch, but also off the pitch, academy, everything. The whole club has been lifted since his arrival.
Sam, really appreciate your time. I know we've got a few issues on your connection, but thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next season. As ever, have a great summer, my friend. Thank you for taking time out from your Sunday. In and amongst this, Tomo, and one of the things I guess that's important to know on this kind of occasion as well is that it's not just about Nuno. He came with a staff, and a staff that have worked incredibly hard. And we heard some of the boys there talk about the injury record that they had. And look, There's a lot of injuries this year, and most of them, not a lot they could do about it. But, a word for all of them, really, because it was always a case whenever he won Manager of the Month, he never wanted it. He gave it to the group.
Well, you've seen what it means to him on the touchline. We've been fortunate enough to be just overlooking it on the home games, where when they score, when the way when things aren't going good for them, they're all together as a collective. But you can see what it means to him when he scores a goal. And I've never seen anything like it, where all of his coaching staff, even when they're sitting on the benches at the side of the dugouts, they're running from the sides to get into a group hug. So look, you can see what it means. But it's been outstanding with the way that we've gone. I think that on the back of what happened last year with the season, was it a 2-week break, and it took its toll this year on the injuries. But before that, we were outstanding with the amount of injuries, and we were fortunate in another way that we only had a small squad, but they all kept fit. There was only some slight knocks, but that all comes down to the way that they do things, the preparation, the training, how they get the players ready after games. So it all comes down to the way that Nuno set it up and the way that he's gone about it. And look, you'll always be a favourite to Nuno with the way that he's played, the way that he's gone about his persona and everything else, and the way around the club. We know what the city means to him. We've seen the way that he is with the fans, and I'm just pleased that the fans are in today for the game, that they can actually say goodbye to him.
Looms and Claire, I know you're desperate to jump in as well, and you will have opportunities to put some questions to two key men who are coming up right now, who've got a real fascinating insight into it all. Let's say a big hello, first of all, to a man who is joining us from his holidays, who's taken time out from it, and we know that he has been looking pretty sharp on the beach, by the way. And look at him, what a handsome man he is. A big welcome again to Barry Douglas. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are yours?
I'm very well. Just your reflections, I guess, on the news the last couple of days, and kind of, you were there right at the start when the journey began, and what a journey it's been.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shock to wake up to and see the news that era is sadly finished. But I think, along with every Rose fan on the planet, it's been an absolute great few years, hasn't it, to enjoy and embrace that journey. And Rose are now a different team. They're an established Premier League team, like a force to be reckoned with.
Looms, you can jump in as we add another guest, and I know Barry's going to love to see this guy as well. Leo Bonatini joins us as well, the man who scored the first goal of the Nuno era. Lovely to have you in too. Go on, Looms.
Bona!
My friend, what a styling. Where are you now?
Portugal, actually. I'm going to meet Nuno for a coffee when he's finished.
I'll have to ask you then. So about Nuno, like we've played the game. We know managers, and usually they like to be the main man. It's all about them. But Nuno's come in and he's basically created a unity, hasn't he? It's like the staff, the players, they're all together. They're all fighting the same battle. They're all got the same responsibilities. How did you find that as a player when he came in?
Me or Bona?
Anyone
else?
I want you go, Bona. Fire away. Age before beauty.
No, thank you, bro. For me, I've played against him in Portugal when he was heading coach of Porto, and everyone was telling good about him. So when I was in Saudi Arabia, everyone said that he was a good player, a good coach, and also about the staff, it was really good. Everyone in Portugal say good about Antonio, and when I had the invitation to go to Wolves and to be trained by him, it was really good for me because it was an important opportunity in my career. And when we arrived there, I think it was really good because he's the guy that he know what he's doing, he know what he's saying, and all this stuff. It's good. So I think he has the leadership that it was necessary for us to going up, and we did it. It was really good to be part of this team now.
Just saying as well. Oh, sorry. Go on, Barry.
No, I was just going to say. I think that the philosophy they use is summed up directly by the quote that uses that the strength is in the pack. To do with Wolves. So as soon as everyone came in, it was straight from the off. It was black and white. Look, we're going to be together. There's going to be no egos. No one is bigger than the club or the idea, and everyone needs to buy into it for it to work. And I think everyone did that exemplary, and that's why it was so successful.
Yeah, so we've touched on about the injuries and the lack of them in those first couple of seasons. What was he doing different? What was the difference that you could see? And this is to either of you, what you could see in his training?
I think a lot needs to go to Antonio and João here, because these are the guys that people only see on the Saturday, the results and the players and the fitness, but they don't see what goes on behind the scenes. And I think them two coming into the club, what they did, they were the rehab and the activation coaches, and they took sports science to a different level then. And I think you've seen that's why there was never injuries. This year, I think they've just not had the rub of the green. Bad injuries at bad times has had a knock-on effect in more ways than one. But I think over the course of how long they've been here now, 3-4 years, their injury ratio to the season must be one of the lowest in England.
They're very important for the club. Then all the staff. Antonio, he's during the warm up. We run like crazy, but we don't realize that we are running a lot because we are having fun. We are enjoying before the training start, or even during the training. And it's really important for us. I think I realize how good they are when I face go on loan. I say, yeah, they're really good there. In England, they have all the machines for us to get fit, and it was really good for us when we were getting fit, and we knew that if we had a bad day, we could beat the other team because we're fit enough to get promoted.
Because that's quite a key point, isn't it, Barry, that we were making a moment ago, that it's not just Nuno, it's his staff too. And it was you guys as players. And not all the players that played a part at the start are still here now. That's kind of a part of football. But it's been a big group, collective effort to get to where we are and hopefully to keep us moving forward.
Yeah, it's been a journey. And I think, like everything in life, it's probably adaptability is the word. Everyone's just adapted to the current situation. And when Nuno and the staff, when everyone adapted to that, and it took off, and it was brilliant to be a part of. And like we always speak about, it'll be great to reflect on and look back in years gone by. But we want to see them continuing to do what they're doing and pushing for European places, because that's where I think the ambitions should lie at Wolves now. I think they're almost an established European team.
Barry, I'm going to let you go because I'm conscious we've literally taken you off the beach to have this chat. But also, please don't forget to send details of your tailor and where you get your shirts, because Tomo would look tremendous in that outfit.
You're looking at the hat, aren't you?
Barry, my friend, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, thank you for having me on. The pleasure's all mine, guys. And stay safe, stay healthy, and lots of happiness.
And to you, my friend, enjoy your summer. Speak
Cheers,
to you
guys.
soon. Leo, I guess for you, we should say congratulations as well, because you've played a huge part this season in Grasshoppers promotion, including an important goal the other night.
Yeah, thank you. It was quite the same feeling that we had in Wolves, but here or there in Grasshoppers, we suffered more. We could have done it before, like in few games earlier. But in the end, it was funny because the last title that Grasshoppers won was 80 years ago in 20th May as well. So it was such a big coincidence. And for us, it was like weird because we didn't have the fans with us in the stadium, but they were outside supporting us, and it was really good. So thank you again.
It's not been a bad couple of years for you, has it? All those goals in the Championship promotion season, and now all these goals in another title-winning season.
Yeah, it was really good for me when I just arrived in England. I was coming from another level of playing. I was in Saudi Arabia. It was really hard for me to adapt. But on the first game, I scored this bro, and I had the feeling of the fans, what Barry say when we arrived there. Nuno say no one needs more than the club, more than the project that is going up. But we knew that we are doing for the fans, and it was amazing. And one of the weird things for this, but we know how it's bad because of the virus situation, it's how we miss them with us during the games, supporting how the games flow changed a lot because they are not there with us. But we know that the situation needs this now, and I think for us it will be all right soon.
Leo, you said there about the missing the fans and what they bring, but what it's affected the group of players as well, this pandemic, hasn't it? Because the players can't just go out and socialise. When they come to the football club, they can't mix and do the normal things to feel at home and to feel settled. I understand that at the training ground, there's a great environment, but the players still have to go home. And that's usually when they socialise, they get close with. And that's been quite difficult this past probably, 12 months, 15 months, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's really hard because actually I always say that I like to stay at home, Chris. But I think when you cannot go outside, you miss that to socialize, to do everything. And I think everything changed in football because I think the way that we play when we have fans and the way that we play when we don't have fans, it's like completely different. When you receive a ball and the fans don't shout on you, like saying, you know that someone is coming. And also when we are like doing the train, we can go and we can socialize in the morning. But when we are at home, we miss to go out. Even when we go out and the fans push us for some bit more, you know, like we are with you boys, like keeping going. You must do it. And this is the good part of the football because fans, they are there to support us. And when they say something for us, it's like we are refueling like a car, you know. So we need them. And of course, it's for everyone. It's hard, but for us that we we've worked with like the people that loves the club. We feel that we miss them a lot there. So it's really different for us when we are in the inside. On the first games, I remember it was like weird because we've played like now. We played against Tum, that was the second place. And we didn't have the atmosphere that was like first against second. We was just like a normal game. And the fans, they do everything different. So we can feel that like a bit nervous, the butterfly on the stomach, like you are feeling anxious to play. And I miss this feeling to have them there with us.
Coming back, my friend, I don't know whether you can hear some of the sounds of this stadium as you've been talking as well. And the players look like they're enjoying it as well. And let me tell you, when everything opens up again, and God willing, it's going to be soon, we're going to have a big get together and you're invited, Bonner.
Oh, yeah, 100%, my friend, 100%. We have to do it. Like all the time I watch the games in Wolves, I remember every single moment there. Like it's really special for me. I always say how important it was for me and how welcome I felt when I arrived in England. So I love the country, I love the fans, but especially I really miss England. It's really good for me and it was a good part of my life there. As a human being, not only as a player.
We will see you again soon, my friend. Stay safe and well. Enjoy your summer.
Yeah, thank you, boys. Hopefully you and your families are fine and take care of your lovers.
And you, my friend. See you soon, Leo.
Bye.
Thank you, Leo Bonatini, on with us on Matchday Live Extra. It is that thing, isn't it? This is one of the things that I think sometimes people miss. And whilst there is an element of celebrating the last 4 years and what Nuno and his staff have achieved, you almost need to remember the fact that it is everybody, Claire. The fans bought into it and played their part. And when you listen to people like Barry and Leo talk about that, it's such an important element to it.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been integral this season, hasn't it, to the fact that we haven't got some of the results that we might have ground out. And I think back to, I was thinking about the Man City game last Christmas, and that I've never known an atmosphere like that when Doc got the winner towards the end, drove into the box and scored, and the atmosphere was electric at Molineux. Literally, I've never known anything like it, with the flags, with the fireworks, with everything. The buzz in having 30,000 people in the ground every week. People are clutching. I know people that can't get a ticket. I mean, you know, like back in the day, this never happened at Wolves. They're trying to give tickets away. But I mean, now it's literally like everyone's like, have you got a ticket? Can you get a ticket? Can anyone get a ticket? So this hype and that it's created, and kids wanting to play for Wolves and not looking for your Man Utds and Arsenals, and I support Liverpool, you know, kids at my school, like loads of Wolves fans. But it's just great to see, isn't it? And it's really is like a little bit of the revival that Nuno's really created, and his staff and the players. So it'd be just great to get back to Molineux and feel that atmosphere again.
Absolutely. Well, of course, you know, they had to give tickets away when Looms was playing. That was just standard.
Shall I just go? I'll see you.
Couldn't help it. Well, we've got to bring him back down to earth. He's been hanging out with royalty the last couple of days. You know, he's back here. We've got, you know, if you team me up, I'm going to take the opportunity. That is it. I'm the Raul Jimenez of banter towards Looms and Tomo. That's just the way it goes. I think, you know, there is an element, isn't there, Tomo, about the fans coming through. And, you know, the one point I've been keen to stress last couple of days is that it's not over. Nuno's part in this is over, but the football club stays, and the football club continues to move forwards, and God willing, it will continue to move forwards.
Unfortunately, that's football for you, isn't it? Things change, people come in and out, and that's what's happened. So, look, I know some fans are thinking about it as well, saying, oh, well, Nuno's done a great job. But he has, no doubt about it. He's part of their history now and what he's done. But life goes on, and the team goes on, and we're just hoping that we can build on what we've done here. So, look, and I think that we will. I think that the way that we've played, the way that we've gone about it in the time that Nuno's been here has been outstanding. The players, what have come up, have stepped up. Look at the way that Conor Cody's approached the games now, and the way that he's changed. As we've touched on there, he's got himself into the England squad through Nuno, with the way his position changed. Doc's unfortunately not with us anymore, but look, he's stepped up, and all these players have. I think all the players that he's had in his squad have stepped up and improved. And I know it's a shame for some of the players that have moved on, but unfortunately, that's just football for you. But I'm just hoping that we can see many years with this Wolves side continuing the way that they've done it, because I'll tell you what, he's definitely put something in place that we can build on.
Well, that's it. You know, exactly what Tomo said there. It's about building on the foundation that he set. You know, I think that's it, about improving on the same path. And, you know, like, he's took us as far as he feels that he can take us. It's now for someone else to come and take us the rest of the way to get where we want to be. You know, I think it's this next appointment is so important. You know, we talk about philosophies, we talk about the group of players that he's inheriting, we talk about man management. Nuno was excellent at it. He improved the players. You know, you don't. So it's so important but you also want a modern thinking manager, one that's up to speed. So it is massive decision.
Let's talk about that next then, because standing by to join us on Matchday Live Extra on this very special show is the Athletics' Tim Spears, who we have spoken to many times indeed. He is somewhere else in the press box here. Tim, from what you understand hello, by the way, what is the process moving forwards now in terms of replacing Nuno?
It's a great question, Mikey. Hearing all sorts of conflicting opinions in the last few days. I've got to tell you, Friday, it's the kind of day you live for as a journalist normally. You know, a big news story, someone's been sacked, a player's been signed, whatever, and you just get on with it, you phone around and you write up a great piece. But Friday, there were so many conflicting messages as to exactly what was happening. And I've seen very respected journalists across the patch write completely different accounts of what exactly has happened in the past few weeks. And I think it's probably the same going forward in terms of how this approach goes for their new manager. You know, if you believe that the club have planned this months in advance, then they should have someone lined up to announce tomorrow, in my opinion. But if the truth is more that Nuno's walked and something's happened in the last week, then it might be more of an extensive search. I've seen a few reports linking them with Bruno Lager from Benfica. Some people saying that's a done deal. from what I understand, that's not quite the case. He's certainly someone they've spoken to, but from what I'm told, they've attracted some interest for some really big names in the last 48 hours, which may give them a slight rethink if they've already set themselves down a path as to what happens next.
Because that's a key point to make, though, isn't it? Wolves will be an attractive club to many because of what we've done in the last couple of years and where we now are as a football club.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think an important part of that to attract any manager, as you'll all know, is to have funds available, because we were already talking about what a big rebuilding job Nuno had this summer. If you throw in a new manager and a new backroom team and a new culture on top of that, there are so many variables and if buts and maybes. So I wonder if this maybe changes their thinking on budget as well. You know, all the information I had was that it was going to be a tight summer. The need to be creative, bring in loans, maybe swap deals, sell to buy. You know, I know that that's the case for a lot of Premier League clubs with everything that's happened in the past 15 months, but Wolves may want to offer more of an attractive package for a manager coming in to say, look, you can shape this team, because these are all Nuno's players, as we know. This is Nuno's tactics. They've all been brought in to fit that style. So if from what I'm hearing that Wolves are keen for a more of an attractive style of football from a new manager, then a lot of these players might not be fit for purpose.
Yeah, but Spiels, isn't that a dangerous way to go, to say, you know what, there's going to be a complete overhaul, we're going to change it, we're going to throw money at it, we're going to bring in a completely, you know, Nuno, who knew the club, been there 3 years, thought, you know what, I need to try new things this year. You know, he tried the formations change. He threw to the group of players. I want more goals from you all. You know, you can't just come in and say, right, you know what, we're going to bring in another 15 players and then we're going to play another brand of football and it's all going to be tickety boo. It doesn't work like that in football, no matter how much money you want to throw at it.
No, and there's not much wrong here, Chris. I'm sure you'd agree that, you know, they've had a lot of problems this season, some in Nuno's hands and some out, but there's not a lot wrong with this in terms of the basis for a quality squad that can push for the top six, in my opinion. So if there's an extent of ripping that up and starting again, that's a very, very dangerous game. And these players, as we know, are so loyal to Nuno. Some of them are, you know, really emotional with what's happened. And if you're bringing in a manager that they're doubting already, who hasn't got a great record, then, you know, you guys know that's not a great start. So these players don't want Nuno to go. So they've got to get this appointment right. There's so much work to do.
There is also an element, though, isn't there, Claire, that, you know, that you look at certain situations with loan players, not just loan players who are here at the moment, decisions have to be made, but players who've been out on loan. There will always be players who haven't quite been at the forefront of the previous manager's mindset, who now might have an opportunity to push themselves further forwards again.
Yeah, for sure. It's always the most difficult time, isn't it, for players when a new manager comes in and you kind of got to set your stall out and kind of get into the plans of the manager. But you think Rafa Mir's had a great season over in Spain. So there were people knocking on the door. Some of the youngsters that have had a little bit of an outing as well have given a great account of themselves over the last few weeks. And like your Gibbs White, they'll be thinking whether they're part of the plans. Are they going to get sent off on loan? There's so many decisions to make, isn't there? It's a hell of a situation for somebody to come into. But equally, as Tim said, it really is in a stable condition. There's lots of potential there. That there's still a team that only last season, you know, did extremely well. So we're sure we can get back to it as well.
Overall, Tim, just before we let you go, I mean, this feels so much better, doesn't it? Just to have fans back inside the stadium, the feel and buzz around the place. I know it's a special occasion anyway, but God, I hope this continues and we get more back next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got to say, it's a really surreal day. I mean, you know, thousands lined up on Waterloo Road singing Nuno's name, some of them in tears, some people comparing it to a bereavement. It's such a strange day. You know, you never see a manager leave on these terms, do you, ever? Yeah, I'm sure you can hear them in the background. It's great to see them back. I wonder how different the season would have been with them here, to be honest, because their energy has given so much to this team. And that bond between Nuno and the fans has been so integral to what we've seen over the past few years. The adoration from the stands week after week. They've never been booed off under Nuno. There's never been any disgruntlement from the stands under Nuno. You know, that period pre-pandemic sort of frozen in time, really. They were fifth in the league when the pandemic started, and in the last 16 in the Europa League. Since then, we know what's happened. But those sort of first 2.5 years in Nuno, you know, we all witnessed it. It was so special. I doubt we'll ever see anything like it again.
Yeah, memories that will last a lifetime. Tim, thank you very much indeed. I'll let you get ready for the game in just a couple of moments' time. Tomo, don't take this the wrong way, but you're the only face really that I've seen for such a long time. I'm loving this. I love the fact there are people back in here.
Oh.
442 days we've waited.
Well, I'm just listening to them now, and they're in full voice now at the moment, aren't they? And again, when we come to the ground, there's absolutely thousands at the front. And it's just great to have them back, isn't it? So it just changes the whole atmosphere of the place. Rather than that fake noise, what you're getting from the games, you've got an actual crowd in. And yeah, I agree with Tim, what he said. He said about they get behind this team and they bought into what the manager Nuno had done for the club. And that was part and parcel of it. So they absolutely loved the manager. But it's what we've done. We've gone on about it before. This is the pack. This is all about everybody involved with the club, fans, players, anybody who's associated with the club. And it just shows you again what it means. And I think that if we did have these fans in, we'd be finishing up hard at the league because they definitely spurred the team on. They definitely got behind them.
Well, we talk about being a pack, and part of that was Feed Our Pack this year that Nuno donated so much money to. It's also been a primary reason why we have been doing our charity bets throughout the season. So let's bring in our friend Leon Blanche from Boyle Sports, our betting partner, to talk a little bit about that, because we have managed to raise some money, probably not as much as we would have liked. It's a bit dark there in Leon's house. There we are. There he is. Leon, where are we in terms of our running totals and how much we've managed to raise?
Yeah, I think we're up to I think it's just under £3,000 so far. I think in around the 2,800 mark. So we've done okay. In fairness, it hasn't been the best season, but at least the charity will be getting some much needed funds, which is all that matters really, Mikey. And with a Man United first 11 like that today, here's hoping Wolves can sign off the season with a home victory, because Ollie is definitely looking at the big game on Wednesday night. That's for sure. Not like Pep Guardiola, by the way. He's picked a really strong team for City's last game, but hopefully Wolves can get the job done.
Yeah, what odds are people looking at today?
Yeah, look, I mean, Wolves have been a huge mover in terms of just even winning the game. I think when this match was actually priced up first, I think Wolves were around about the 7-2 mark, but they have certainly come in quite considerably just to win this particular match. They're now all the way in to 13-10. So there's been a big move for Wolves just to win the game. United have been pushed all the way out to over 2-1. They're now 11-5, having been just a shade of odds-on favourites. So this game has completely lopsided all the way in favour of Wolves right now. So fingers crossed, Mikey, they can get the job done in their last home game with 4,500 fans there, which would be great.
Well, as ever, we're always positive and confident, maybe sometimes overconfident in the way that we've done our charity bets this year. I think we've all got them. So, Claire, what are you going for today?
I'm going 2-1. 2-1. I didn't see the Man United team before when I went 2-1, but I'm going to stick with 2-1. Got to go with what you say initially. So I'm going with 2-1.
You don't. You can change it. You've seen the team change it like everyone else is going to. I'm changing mine. I'm changing mine.
Listen, Claire, it's the last game of the season. You can do whatever you want.
You what I want. 3-0. Go 3-0.
3-0 to the Wolves.
Yeah.
Well, I know Tomo is going 3-1, which is 18-1. So let me just go and get the price on 3-0, because that could be a nice price also. Wolves 3, Man United 0 is working out at 20-1. So you can have that one, Claire. You can have 3-0 to Wolves, 20-1. Tomo, you're on 3-1, which is 18-1.
Yeah.
Chris, do you want to change yours?
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-1. Wolves.
4-1. 4-1 for Wolves. Okay, give me a second. Instead of 1-0.
I think Traore hat-trick as well, by the way.
Oh, love that.
5-0, 50-1. Now, that would be a beautiful way to finish the season with our charity bets if we could get that up. 4-0. I think you might be a little bit ambitious there, Chris, but I like it. You might as well go for it on the last game of the season. Why not?
And mine, which was, I went with a little bit more than these lot. I thought I was being more outlandish in saying both teams to score more than 2.5 goals in the game. I still think that's pretty sensible.
Yeah, look, it's a good bet. I mean, both teams to score and over 2.5. It's only a 6-4 chance. So I think a lot of people are expecting goals because of the Man U lineup. I think they will be under a lot of pressure, I'm hoping, right from the get-go. But they still have got Rashford and Greenwood on the bench. So, it's not a completely inexperienced squad. They've got a couple of nice strikers on the bench if they need to get a goal or two. But most people think there will be goals, and they all are backing both teams to score. But most of our bets are suggesting they think Man U and Wolves will get on the score sheet. But everyone is backing Wolves to win. And I mean, to the exclusion of even Man United fans, they're not even backing their own side to win this game today.
Are you having a bet? Are you getting involved?
No, I'm not getting involved in this one. I've laid Chelsea. I'm taking on Chelsea today. I think Villa, I just have a feeling they might nick a point at home. Last game of the season. And if Liverpool win and Leicester win, that will mean Chelsea will have to beat Man City on Saturday night to qualify for next season's Champions League.
Leon, it's been a really pleasure having you as part of our coverage this season. Thank you so much, my friend.
Really appreciate it, Mikey. And look, if we don't get a winning bet today, we'll round it up to $3,000. But here's hoping one of the 4 charity bets can add some much needed funds for a well-deserved charity.
Thank you very much, Leon Blanche from Boyle Sports. Stay safe, enjoy your summer. My friend, he mentions the team news, Wolves, 3 changes. There is a game on today, by the way. 3 changes. Out goes Ruddy Kilman, Gibbs White. In comes Patricio Saiz and Dendoncker. Man United have Dean Henderson in goal, Brandon Williams, Eric Bailly, Axel Tuanzebe and Alex Telles, Donny van der Beek and Nemanja Matic in midfield, Daniel James, Juan Mata, Anthony Elanga and Ahmed Diallo. So, chances then looms of going out with a bang today, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm being serious when I said that 4-0. I'm thinking Traore's going to absolutely rip these 2 bets. 3 goals for Traore today, and Silva's going to get the other for me. I just think hopefully we can start on our front foot, proper, dominate the match, and just be relentless, wave of attack. I know you're not going to get it all your own way, even when you are dominant, but if we can be clinical today, I see a lot of goals. And like you say, the back 3, the back 5, solid. Let's not concede. Let's go out with a bang.
Claire, what are you looking for this game?
Yeah, I mean, exactly as Loom said, I think we've got to go for it. And we created a lot of chances, had so many corners, didn't we, against Everton? It'd be nice to see some of these chances converted. Yeah. And he's kind of gone back to the team, kind of like his go-to in terms of what took us through most of the last season. Obviously, taking out Johnny in there, and obviously Jimenez will be up front normally. But it is that 3 in the middle that we went to so many times last season. So I think hopefully the players are going to be buzzing for this. They're going to really want to let Nuno go out on a high as well. So I'm really hoping that they win this one.
Yeah, and Tomo, we've talked about the fans. We've talked about the emotion of this occasion. That's a good point from Claire as well, that the players may well be up for it to go out and send their manager off in style.
Yeah, without doubt. I think the players will go out there and they'll want to do the best that they can for the manager leaving. But again, it's like we spoke about time and time again. He's gone out there with the players that he thinks can win the game. But it's all about the tempo for me. If they can up that tempo, we've seen it time and time again, they'll cause Man United a problem. And I definitely think Traore will be up for this game today. So I'm looking forward to watching him.
Right, it's been an absolute whirlwind build-up. We will have more from Chris Willamo and from Claire Hakeman at half-time. Thank you very much for the time being. More from Tomo in just 1 second. Fans are back at Molineux. For the final time, Nuno's Wolves take on Manchester United. Do not go anywhere.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Wolves Lottery is committed to helping Wolverhampton and the local community improve, whilst giving fans the chance to win some fantastic money-can't-buy prizes, excellent Wolves experiences, as well as £1,800 given away every week. For more information and to sign up online, visit wolves.co.uk/Wolves-Lottery.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
just sample some of this atmosphere. What we have missed for so long. 442 days since there was last a crowd inside Molineux. Finally, thousands return for the final game of the season and the final game of the Nuno era. An era perhaps at least in part defined by an FA Cup quarter-final win over Man United, when the foundations of this famous stadium were literally shaken. Nuno has made 3 changes to his starting lineup for his final selection. Out goes Ruddy, Kilman and Gibbs-White. In comes Patricio, Saiz and Dendoncker. Wolves lining up with Rui Patricio in goal. Willy Bolly, Conor Cody and Romain Saiz the back 3. Nelson Semedo and Ryan Aït-Nouri the wing backs. Leander Dendoncker, Ruben Neves and Jean Moutinho in midfield. Adama Traore and Fabio Silva, the 2 up top. United are much changed with their Europa League final to come in the week. Dean Henderson is in goal. Brandon Williams, Eric Bailly, Axelton Zabi and Alex Telles make up the back 4. Donny van der Beek, Nemanja Matic and Juan Mata the midfield. Daniel James, Anthony Elanga and Amad Diallo are their attacking trio. It's been a long old wait, and boy have we missed you. But there are finally people in the stands and noise emanating down. It will feel like there are far more than the 4,500 inside this stadium. I love it.
Oh, it's nice to hear, isn't it? It's nice to hear. Okay, we had that fake noise for a while just to get a little bit of atmosphere. There's nothing like it having the actual fans here.
Well, fake noise on the TV. We never had fake noise,
No.
Tomo. We always kept it real.
Exactly, mate.
As we've always been real, all the way through.
But it is, it's absolutely unbelievable. So, look, having them back. Just hope that this can continue now, all the way through. And we haven't missed them, though, have we? We haven't missed them a load.
Yeah.
And I think the team have as well.
And do you know, there's an element to this as well, Tomo, whereby it's not been as successful a season as we've had in the last couple of years. It's still been a decent year to be mid-table in the Premier League.
Look, so it's just been one of those years where nothing just seems to have gone right for us. And again, I'm not going to go down the VAR route, but things like that, injuries, some calls, some decisions from officials. So I think it's just been a mixture of absolutely everything. It hasn't just gone our way. But again, if you still look at it, we're still middle of the table. Considering that it's been great, it's done all right.
But it's always the case, isn't it, that what people will remember most is that final performance that they've seen as Mike Dean blows his whistle and all the players take a knee. Fabio Silva stood over the ball. Wolves in their gold shirts, black shorts and gold socks against Manchester United in their zebra change kit. And we're underway at Molineux for the final day of the season. And after 2 defeats this week, there's also the element of not wanting to finish the season off the back of 3 straight losses. Willy Bolly infield to Conor Cody. As a kind of predicted, Bolly starting on the left of the back 3 with Saiz on the right.
He likes that position though, doesn't he, Bolly? I think that's the position, that left-hand side of Conor Cody, that he favours. And they say, oh, no, we've got Saiz out on this right-hand side. But that's the side that he wants to play. So, look, we've said it before. You want to play in the position that you want to.
Saiz infield to Neves. Backwards to Dendoncker, being put under pressure by Diallo, but he finds Bolly, who can bring it up towards halfway. Infield to Moutinho. Here's Cody. Space of the centre circle to the left-hand side to Bolly.
I'll tell you what, though, it must be strange for the players having no fans for so long and actually coming out to the roars and the cheers of everybody, and actually you're hearing it when they're playing. So it must be very strange still. And some of these, don't forget, have been at the club and never had fans to play in front of Wolves.
And if you're Nelson Semedo and Ryan Aït-Nouri and Fabio Silva, this is your first experience. And it's Adama Traore stealing it from Matic. It's the penalty area. Traore strikes his shot across the face of goal. And behind for a goal kick. He's looking threatening already, Adama Traore.
Oh, yeah, he just took the ball off him, didn't he? Was it Matic? Just eased him out of the way, didn't he? It's a shame he just couldn't get his shot on target because he hit it well. Just pulled it, didn't he? But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him today. I'm hoping that he's going to be fired up, and if that's anything to go by, he will be.
Everything you want to see from Adama Traore. Yeah. Strength, power, pace, all there in abundance. As Henderson clears the ball downfield. Bolly get his head to it. It's going to go on a play for a Manchester United throw midway inside the Wolves half on the United right. Wolves are defending the Stancullis North Bank away to our left, attacking the Sir Haywood South Bank away to our right. Steve Paul stand on the far side. Not sure where the man himself is. He's usually sat up behind Tomo somewhere.
Well, I realised he wasn't here when I couldn't hear nothing. Usually he's in the ear, even the headphones on, but I'm sure he'll be watching it somewhere.
It's also that normally he'd bring you a coffee just before kick-off.
Yeah. Stay good enough. I'm going to have a word with him.
You've not trained John Bowater or Robert Plant to do the same just yet.
I should have mentioned it to Robert. I was talking to him before the game. I should have said to him, "Make me coffee." Bully's not here. He wanted to tell me where to go, though, so I better not.
He wouldn't have done that. He's a lovely man. There's Tellez from Manchester United. Traore tracking him and forcing him to go further back in his own half to Tunzebi. Finds Bailly. Now Matic. Infield. Van der Beek. Saiss has gone high to steal it away from Mata. Traore. Midway inside the United half. Just looking to Semedo on his right-hand side. Back infield to Neves. There is a lovely verve and zip about Wolves at the moment. Saw a lot of it in the first half at Everton on Wednesday.
Yeah, we just didn't have that cutting edge, did we, against Everton? Because I thought we played really well first half, especially the first half, with the amount of corners that we had. Was it 10 or 11 corners we had in that first half?
10.
Yeah, so it just shows you the way that we played, and we took the game to Everton, which was good. But again, it's just missing that final just little thing up in that top third, which is the hardest part of football, unfortunately.
There's a feral breeze at the moment, which is going to make things interesting, though. There are no flags on the Steve Ball for once, so not entirely easy to see which direction it's definitely going.
I was going to say, all the time that I've spent with you as well, I've just got to mention about the other night on Thursday, you look very smart.
Oh, thank you very much,
look
mate.
Very smart.
I had the honour and the privilege to be a co-host of the end of season awards. I bought a new suit for the occasion.
Look very smart.
Thanks, mate. I try and...
You dress up well, mate. You dress up well.
I don't.
He even combed his hair. He even combed his hair and gelled it or whatever he had.
Or whatever he had. Well, just Brill cream from your days, was it? Is that what you stopped going for? These modern day gels and combs. Not in my day.
Yeah.
Bolly for Aït-Nouri on the left-hand side for Wolves. Inside his own half. Back in field to Cody. As ever, you can get in touch with us and have your say at Mikey Burrows on Twitter. Join the live chat right now on the official Wolves YouTube channel. Always good to have you with us. And you can always head back there and check out the pre-show as there's a long ball into the Wolves penalty area, an early opportunity for Elanga, but he only helped it really on into the waiting arms of Rui Patricio.
Well, I'll tell you what, they were fortunate because they got in there. His first touch was good. He's inside Aït-Nouri. Yeah, Elanga just hit come off his shin, I think. It was a good ball, just going to need to be careful of it.
So our pre-match build-up with Kyle Ikemi, Sam Ricketts, Barry Douglas from the beach in Portugal, Leo Bonatini.
I'll tell you what, I was envious of him there, seeing him there. Probably not of the shirt, but not where he was.
I'd love to see you in that shirt and hat combo. Most stylish man I've ever seen, arriving just for training on a winter's day, Barry Douglas.
Oh, is that a usual thing that he wears?
Oh, mate, always made an effort. Some people have got style. Others like you and I don't, Tomo.
Not arguing with you.
Bolly trying to step in, but foul had already been given. Manchester United free kick just inside the Wolves half, about 10 minutes or so. We have played 6.5 minutes at Molineux, still Wolves 0, Manchester United 0. The day that fans returned, there were many who I'm sure didn't have tickets who were outside earlier, greeting the team coaches. Step over from Van der Beek. Matic out to the left-hand side for Daniel James, who's cutting infield and trying to feed it in towards the penalty area. And an opportunity to strike for goal and smashed over the top by Anthony Elanga.
I'll tell you what, that's an even better chance for him. Because he's left Bolly there just on his heels, just stepped in on his left foot. Just stepped past him. Oh, yeah, he's way off target, but he's made that opening for himself, Elanga. Bit of a let off.
Great opportunity for the youngster, goes begging. There is Neves for Semedo. Semedo finding Adama Traore, being tracked all the way by Tanzebi. Little flick and then gets it back from the head of Dendoncker. Trying to cut in field. Neves can nod the ball back to Saiss. Saiss, a little bit of a clash with Daniel James there.
Yeah, he's a bit late on him, wasn't he? James on Saiss.
Ball had kick at each other.
Yeah, well, yeah, somebody I'd mess with. Saiss.
Here's Bolly. Midway inside the Wolves half. Into the centre to Connor Cody. 15 yards to his right hand side to Neves. Further wide to Saiss. Infield to Traore, who's trying to roll Nemanja Matic, who had a little grip at him. And Traore setting off, and he tried to flick it through to Fabio Silva. Dendoncker putting pressure on Bailly, and Semedo first to the loose ball and setting off on a charge, just flicking it wide for Fabio Silva. Now to Neves, looking down the line for Traore, out of play off Tellez for a Wolves throw.
Yeah, so we just want to be positive, don't we? We want to start to take the game to Man United a little bit. Had a couple of scares with Elanga getting behind them with that one ball. Just having that shot wayward.
Well, Wolves in a situation where they can't finish any higher than the 12th position that they start the day in. Dendoncker tried to get on the end of a chip ball over the top, and Zabi's clearance out of play for the Wolves corner. Went the wrong side of the corner flag as far as United are concerned. Jean Martino will head across to take. Having had all those corners on Wednesday, hopefully a better delivery today. More successful delivery. Saiss, Bolly, Dendoncker, Fabio Silva. 4 in the penalty area, 4 wait on the outside of it. Everybody for United are back defending. Martino's delivery. Saiss with the flick on, just too high for Dendoncker. It'll come through to Aït-Nouri on the left-hand side, just outside the penalty area. And his low cross is deflected behind for another Wolves corner, but this time from the opposite side.
Yeah, so Martino just jogging over to the other side to take it. Brandon Williams, I think, just defending it. But I tell you what, I say, there's nothing like you can hear the crowd every time that Wolves got a corner now clapping Martino when he's just about to get to the ball.
Martino with the delivery, right-footed from the left-hand side this time, in front of the South Bank, on its feet. It's delivered in towards the near post, again flicked on this time by Bolly. Fabio Silva forced a little bit wider than he would want to be. Has support from Semedo, and into the centre of the half to Neves. Neves out towards the feet of Traore. Traore slightly miscontrolled it, but he's quick enough to recover. And now trying to deliver his cross into the danger zone, headed out towards the edge of the box. Saiss trying to get a foot to it. And it'll come to Donny van der Beek, who can clear it up towards halfway. And United now trying to set off Daniel James with a heavy touch, and Wolves get the throw.
Yeah, but I think we were just talking about the Traore ball out to him from Neves. I think he was zipped at him. I think that was just the pace of it that he stumbled a little bit with it, but he did well to actually get a touch on it.
Dendoncker back to Saiss, and now infield to Connor Cody. Rocking Chair Dave says, my emotions are stretched here in Wales from sadness to love. All I know, I love Nuno for what he's done for our club. 3-1 to Wolves. Rob in Calgary, surreal day, saying goodbye to the man who brought the best team, the best football and pride back to Wolves. I'm sad but hopeful that while we're giving up a fiver, we might find a tenner. Now let's smash United and give him the send-off he deserves. You can have your say. At Mikey Burrows on Twitter, use the hashtag Wolves Live, join their live chat on the official Wolves YouTube channel. United have it on halfway, back into their own half to Eric Bailly. It's a day of final moments as well. It's the final moment we'll see Wolves in Adidas kit. The deal being announced on Friday with a new unique partnership, biggest in the club's history, with Castor. I think that's right, why to say it. Here comes Daniel James down the left-hand side for United. Dangerous ball towards the far post and headed home. And United have got themselves in front. Big opportunity. Anthony Elanga has missed a couple of chances already. He couldn't miss that one. First blood to Manchester United on the final day.
Yeah, it is. So like, and James down this left-hand side, just putting the ball into an area. But Elanga's been a threat, hasn't he? In the early stages of this game, that's his third attempt. We tried to play offside there, Saiz. Connor Cody's well behind him.
Just got there ahead of Ryan Aït-Nouri, didn't he?
Aït-Nouri's got to get inside of him. He's defending the wrong side of him. Can't be allowing him to get inside of him there.
It's a simple header.
Yeah.
For Anthony Elanga.
Yeah, it's a good ball in, but Aït-Nouri's got to be inside. Can't be allowing the wide man to be inside. He's been caught a couple of times, to be fair, Aït-Nouri. Had that early one where Elanga got inside of him and he miscontrolled it. Bit of a setback, but again, it's just something that they've got to deal with. Get on with it.
Traore is caught in possession by Nemanja Matic. Saiz challenging Juan Mata. Donny van der Beek in field to Brandon Williams. Looking towards Diallo. Out to the right-hand side to Elanga. Looking field to Amad Diallo. It's it for Matic, 40 yards from the Wolves' goal. Out on the right-hand touchline. Elanga for Williams. And Donker trying to get a foot in. Aït-Nouri sends it in field. Neves finding Saiz, and Saiz turns straight into Daniel James, but João Moutinho was back there to help him out. There's João Moutinho. Elsewhere, it's Man City 1, Everton 0. Kevin De Bruyne for the champions. As Wolves get a free kick on halfway for Mike Dean.
I was going to say, I thought that he just read it there, boy. Just read the ball there.
Aït-Nouri looking to run down the left-hand side for Wolves. Still twisting and turning and firing across over the top and behind for a goal kick. There's plenty going on elsewhere, of course, with the race for the Champions League spots. Still Villa 0, Chelsea 0. The games, Leicester 0, Spurs 0. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 0. It's unusual to have other games on when we're playing.
I was going to say, it is, isn't it? We're used to playing on a Sunday, though, that's the thing. So, yeah, so like I said, there's not many goals in the rest of the division.
Donny van der Beek for Williams. On again to the Dutchman. Through to Amad Diallo, who turns and looks to try and switch the play to the left-hand side to Daniel James, 15 yards over the halfway line, turning and looking to run, and has support from Alex Telles on the overlap. Telles for Juan Mata. Back wide again to Alex Telles, helped on to Mata. Sliding challenge comes in from Saiz, Manchester United corner.
Yeah, they're starting to grow in confidence on the Man United now. Starting to zip the ball around. Promising start from Wolves. We said just died down a little bit.
Telles taking his time overtaking the corner. There was a moment where he came to the Wolves dugout before the game and a bit of a hug with Rui Pedro Silva, who knows long-time number 2. Worked together at Porto, of course. Telles whipping into the near post. Moutinho there first, behind for yet another Man United corner.
Yeah, he come off to Nuno as well before the game. So look, he's, like I said, the Porto connection, I think.
One of those heavily linked last summer. There will always be players linked. There will always be Players wanting to join the journey.
Yeah, it's an attractive club, isn't it?
Tellers his delivery in towards the far post by his header, but it's comfortably behind for a goal kick. Yeah, I keep wanting to make that point, Tomo, that it is the end of a chapter. It is not the end of the journey.
Oh, no. Look, say things like this happen in football, doesn't it? So like players move, managers move. And that's just one of the things that happens. So like you just got to get on with it. So like, and hopefully we can just keep building off this. So because at the end of the day, Nuno's put a great platform and foundation in place.
One day you and I will be replaced. Won't be hard to find better commentators, but there's Fabio Silva down the right-hand side, being forced out towards the corner flag. Alex Tellez challenging him. Fabio Silva holding him off. He's got support from Traore and also from Semedo.
Did well there, didn't he? Again, we've seen it time again, and he's learning quickly about playing in that role up there.
Bolly sold his pass to Aït-Nouri a bit short. Came off the Wolves man, and it'll be a Manchester United throw. Williams to take it. We've played 18 minutes at Molineux. Wolves 0, Manchester United 1. Apart from that early opportunity for Adama Traore, not a huge amount for Wolves so far, but they're building up nicely here. Coutinho trying to play it on to Fabio Silva. Williams back to the goalkeeper Henderson. Fabio Silva chased him all the way. Cody with a cushioned header for Neves, left-hand side of the centre circle. Back across it to Dendoncker. Out to Semedo. Traore making the run down the line. In track by Daniel James. Neat footwork by Traore. Nice cross in. Fabio Silva's header wide of the far post, and Dendoncker was coming in behind him.
Yeah, and you can see what he's doing with his hands. Dendoncker, he must have shouted for it, but I think Silva's already gone up, hasn't he? And he's probably a little bit more off balance. Silva, Dendoncker's just arriving just behind him. Yeah.
Oh, it was right on the head of Dendoncker as well.
And he had the better angle for it as well, didn't he? I think Silva was just stretching a little bit too far for it.
Exuberance of youth, wanted it himself.
Yeah, well, he's a striker as well. He wants goals.
And there's an opportunity that he could end up as Wolves' top scorer this season. Hasn't been the greatest of years in terms of goals.
Well, Neves as well, isn't it?
There's Van der Beek driving forwards for Manchester United, looking for James, who left it for Tellez, and it goes out of play for a throw. As things stand, the top scorers, Neto and Neves on 5, Fabio Silva and Raul Jimenez on 4.
You can't believe it. Jimenez still on second.
Well, he's there in the crowd.
Yeah, well, he warmed up, didn't he? He warmed up before the game.
Yeah, came in with the team on the coach.
Yeah, and he was out before the game warming up on the pitch. Trying to work out the hair colour. He's looking more like my colour of hair than...
Well, do you know what's weird is that I was with him on Friday and he had a completely different hairstyle on Friday. It was a lot lighter and blonder.
Well, there he is. He's on the screen again, isn't he?
And it's almost like he's gone back darker again.
Yeah.
Because I was with him the week before and it wasn't as light as it was. So he's had 2 trips to the hairstylist the last couple of days. Here comes Williams. Langer trying to drive in field. Mata for Diallo. Williams. Mata once more. Manchester United trying to control things. Amad Diallo back to Bailly on halfway. Lifted high towards Tanzebi, who chests it down for Alex Tellez. In field to Mata. Left-hand side of the centre circle. Low across it for Bailly. Towards Diallo. To Matic, who dropped into the defensive line. Now one Mata on the Manchester United right. Options just ahead of him. It was Elanga who feeds it wide to Williams. Back to one Mata once more. United trying to be patient and move Wolves around, although Semedo can now step in and intercept. Adama Traore on the halfway line. It's got Dendoncker to his right here. Dendoncker helping it on to Semedo. Down the line for the run of Traore. Less than 10 yards from the right-hand corner flag. Traore skipping away from Matic, still in the penalty area, and it nearly dropped towards Semedo, and it's behind for a Wolves corner.
I'll tell you what, just things come alive, don't they, when Traore's running with the ball. So he just leaves people in his wake, doesn't he? So like the way that he plays, like I said, he's didn't really have good control of it apart from his initial dual pass Matic, but say he causes massive problems for teams.
Wolves corner. Jean Martinho, right-footed from the right-hand side. United again have brought everybody back to defend. Martinho's ball goes high to the edge of the 6-yard box. It comes all the way through to Fabio Silva, left-hand side of the penalty area. He will look to lift it back in the danger zone, and it might drop towards Traore to strike it, and it took a deflection on its way through. Mike Dean's had a long look because Wolves were appealing that it came off an arm, and in the end just gives it as a corner.
I was going to say, it was a clear rebound off Man United player. Lucky there.
Oh. I think it would have been harsh to have given that as a penalty. Martinho again, right-footed from the left-hand side this time, in front of the South Bank. Saiss, Bolly, Dendoncker and Fabio Silva are all inside the 6-yard box. Martinho's delivery whipped in, off a United head to the edge of the area. Traore brings it down. Neves trying to help it to Aït-Nouri. Wide for Martinho. On again for the run of Aït-Nouri. That's a little bit much of him, Van der Beek. Let's see that a play for a Wolves throw. Coutinho gets on with it quickly to Neves midway inside the half, looking to cross from deep, headed away by Matic out to the Wolves left, and another Wolves throw.
Yeah, good little bit of pressure from Wolves, good spell. Just can they open something up?
Aït-Nouri for Dendoncker. Now Aït-Nouri once more. Jean Martinho infield to Ruben Neves. Switched out to the right-hand side to Nelson Semedo. Semedo up against Alex Telles, just being held up a touch. There were 3 United defenders around him. Saiss finds Traore. And again, that air of expectation. This time, Alex Telles denies Traore, but he's won possession back and now beating him this time. And trying to go on the outside and goes down, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of wishful thinking that, going down and he's having none of it, the referee.
Yeah, just a little bit of a nudge, I think.
Yeah.
Nothing more from Axel Tuanzebe.
Yeah, his touch was a little bit heavy as well, wasn't it, Traore's? I know he's quick, but I don't know if he caught that touch there before it went out of play. But again, so a good little spell for them.
Nearly 25 minutes played. Wolves 0, Manchester United 1.
Well,
and Traore is now down and has a problem.
Well, that's not good, is it?
And Matic will stop the play so Traore can get a bit of treatment.
I thought earlier on I saw him holding something and I wasn't sure. I just thought I hope it's not an injury.
Well, William Jose has come back to get stripped and ready just in case. This does not look good for Adama Traore.
No. He did a run earlier and I thought I saw him holding the top of his leg. And somebody as explosive as he is, that's what you're going to be prone to. Yeah, he's holding the back of his hamstring. And that's never good for somebody who runs as fast as he does. Hamstrings injury is something that you don't want.
No. Been having a decent game so far as well.
Well, he's been the main problem for Man United, hasn't he?
And rather dejected look towards the heavens for Adama Traore. Gets a kiss on the head from Nuno as he goes past and heads towards the tunnel.
And I'm sure the Man United will be pleased about it. He's been the main problem, hasn't he, to them?
So forced into an early change and doesn't necessarily change the formation, but it will change how Wolves will attack now.
And also the way that Man United defend. So like if you haven't got the pace of Traore, the one player that can cause a massive problem running at you and getting beyond.
Well, yeah, this will be very much now on Nelson Semedo and Rayan Aït-Nouri to provide a bit of width.
And also, as well, they're going to have a little bit of a gamble as well. Try and get beyond the back line of Man United. See Elanga making that run from that right-hand side again. So it's making it difficult. But I'm sure that the Man United players will be pretty happy that Traore's gone off.
So it'll be a slightly different role for Fabio Silva now. He looks to be coming slightly wider, slightly deeper, and William Jose will be the main man up top as Saiss plays the ball forwards over halfway. Neves controls and finds Bolly to Neves, who ran an awful long way towards him and now switches the play wide to Aït-Nouri. 10 yards over the halfway line. Back to halfway to Neves. Infield to Bolly. The Wolves will try and build and find a way back into the game. Saiss trying to lift it wide over the top of Semedo and a throw. Well, it's not unusual for Wolves to be behind. It's not unusual for them to have conceded first. 25th time this season the opposition have scored first. Wolves got a slightly unwanted record, which we'll come to in a minute, as Martinho now finds Fabio Silva on the right-hand side, just outside the penalty area, and he whipped across in too high and beyond William Jose.
Yeah, you could see what he was trying to do. He was trying to just whip that ball in for William Jose there, so but just put a little bit too much on for it. It was a little bit high probably as well. He tried to hit in early, and also as well, Jose just making that run a little bit shorter. He didn't really get into that middle area where Silva actually was looking.
So that Wolves record I mentioned, Wolves the only team this season not to have lost when scoring first. Fortunately, it only happened 10 times. But they won 8 and drew 2 whenever they got themselves in front.
It just hasn't happened enough, has it, then? Unfortunately. And conceding first has.
There's Dendoncker. Out to the left-hand side to Aït-Nouri, just over halfway. Closed down by Elanga, the goal scorer. Dendoncker to Cody at the base of the centre circle.
This is our problem, I think, for me. What's been in this season is that run up front, that movement to cause teams problems. I think we're quite easy to mark as a back line of Man United. We've got nobody who's running beyond or coming in short and then somebody going long. And that's one of the things that we've got to try and look at.
Well, here's Neves trying to change that and trying to feed the ball into the penalty area. But
get in there.
Neither Fabio Silva or William Jose could get on the end of it.
I think that's a great ball from Neves. He's put us into a great area. Just beyond the back line of Man United, between the keeper. Henderson couldn't come for it. I thought it was a good ball from Neves.
Wolves 0, Manchester United 1 as we go past the half-hour mark at Molineux. I tell you what's rather pleasing in a weird way is how they've set the fans up in the stands, where they're not all just in kind of rows down. There's a little bit more higgledy-piggledy, which kind of Everton did the other night, and I think just helps add to the sense of atmosphere.
Yeah.
So some of the games
in one area, are they?
Saw some of the games on telly where, you know, it was one fan and then another 2 rows down and then another fan, and it just looked weird.
Yeah.
Especially because Chelsea had 2 blocks of all the single people. It was, you know, all the singles on their own in one block. For Van der Beek. And with Diallo on halfway. Matic wide for Williams. A couple of yards in from the right-hand touchline. Not a great deal of tempo about United's play. They're happy just to keep the ball played around. Very much the feeling of an end-of-season game. Wide for James. Tracked by Semedo, and Semedo fouls him. Nick Parker's watching and listening in a beachfront bar in Tel Aviv. Thanks, Nuno, for giving us the best football I've ever seen us play. Standard Wolves fight back required ASAP. Nouri trying to win possession back on halfway and did well, and then tried a back heel and lost it.
I think he just got caught under his feet a little bit, Nouri, but you can see what that means to the crowd, though. That's what they want to see. They want to see that fight. There you go.
The pressure was applied.
Yeah.
The Wolves got a throw on halfway. Cody for Saïds. Lifted forward, straight to Matic though. Heavy touch, but Matic just got there ahead of Dendoncker and now comes forwards again, the Serbian, and looking for the run of Diallo, but across came Bolly, tracked him all the way. As he ran from United's right, across field to a central area. Bolly cleared it out of play for a throw. Alex Tellez to take it. Mata for Tellez, back to Mata again, 10 yards from the corner flag, being forced backwards by Semedo. Now Matic, Matinho snapping at him, goes all the way to Nzebi. Brandon Williams trying to lift it forwards for the run of James, who's quick and he will keep it in. Flag stayed down, support from Tellez. Tellez with a whipped cross towards the far post. This time, Nouri got there ahead of Elanga, and Patricio will stop it going behind.
That was better positioning from Nouri. He's inside of him, so Elanga couldn't get across him. And again, it looks like he's still learning the game. So, but he's got caught a couple of times. Got caught for the goal, and just before that,
Semedo loses it to Tellez. Diallo for Mata. Back to Amad Diallo. Foot in by Neves. Cody will find Nouri. All those little sub-stories of the season is Ryan Nouri's arrival. Probably, again, another one like Fabio Silva that wasn't actually expected to play an awful lot this year. The injuries, of course, to Johnny and Marçal changed things.
Oh, it is. There's been lots of different things and reasons for the way that things have gone this season, and it just set you back. But it's the way that you bounce back from these times that shows you how strong you are.
Semedo on the Wolves' right, 30 yards from goal. Almost came through to Dendoncker. Saïs with a block on it, comes off Fabio Silva. It's a Manchester United throw. Still hear Cody shouting. Shots of Adama Traore looking disappointed. Stand down below us. Dendoncker for Neves. Caught in possession by Amad Diallo, and he stayed down, Ruben Neves. Holding his right shin, I think, by the looks of things.
Yeah, I think that he just turned into him, didn't he? I don't know if he got just like a toe in his ankle. His calf more so, wasn't it?
It's nice having crowds back in.
It is. It is. Got that realism thing to it, doesn't it?
One thing I got a habit of saying on our under-23s coverage this year is to apologise if you ever hear any fruity language that comes through.
Well, I've told you about that, haven't I?
Young players and football crowds can't always control what they want to say. Here come Manchester United with Elanga on the right-hand side. Onto Williams on the overlap. Nouri went into challenge, and it'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, did well there, Nouri. Williams is not happy, but it looked from here that he kicked it off him.
It's Connor Cody as the goal kick is taken short. 36.5 minutes have been played so far. Cody outside his penalty area, trying to lift it towards Fabio Silva. They controlled on the chest well. He's going to get a
well
free
played again.
kick. Did really well there, Fabio Silva.
He did. And I'm just saying that's something that he's added to his game. He's improved that much. And I said that at Everton. His link-up players improved a lot.
Here's Bolly for Dendoncker. Towards William Jose. Back to Liana Dendoncker inside the centre circle. Saiz finding Matinho. Semedo back to Romain Saiz. Tries to switch the play, looking for Aït-Nouri, too much on it. Now the play for Man United throw. Goals elsewhere to tell you about. It's Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Leeds 1, West Brom 0. Leicester leads Spurs in a big game in terms of the Champions League qualifications. Man City are 2-0 up against Everton. Sheffield United lead Burnley by 1-0. And West Ham lead Southampton by 2-0. All of which means, as it stands, it'll be Chelsea and Liverpool. Should be Chelsea and Leicester.
I was going to say.
Quite updated just yet. Lots of stuff's going on, Tom.
It is. Another person down now.
William Jose, I think. Got a little knock there.
Oh, it's just a clash of heads.
And Eric Bailly. William Jose is okay. Yeah, as it stands, it'll be Leicester and Chelsea into the Champions League. Liverpool in 5th into the Europa. West Ham will get 6th. They'll be in Europa League as well. And Tottenham will hang on for the Europa Conference League. Be nice for him, wouldn't it? Coutinho's nice flick. Dendoncker to drive it forwards. Lovely pass on to Fabio Silva. Trying to reverse it back in. Semedo! Yes. Wolves back on level terms. And it's a beautiful goal on the final day of the season. Sweeping, sensational football. It deserved to finish. And it was applied by Nelson Semedo for his first Wolves goal. Wolves 1, Manchester United 1.
Oh, I'm sure they'll remember this goal, especially with the Wolves fans. But it's some great little link-up play. Yeah, just looking for offside. Silva down this right-hand side. I thought he did really well just to cut it back to Semedo. Great little 1-2s there. That's what we talk about. Runners off the ball, allows and opens up space. Got themselves back into it. Good strike for him. First goal with the fans back.
Nelson Semedo's first of the season. First for the club on his 35th appearance.
You can hear the crowd now, though, can't you, as well? Got a buzz. You can see him getting them to push up the pitch.
Alanga trying to get the better of Aït-Nouri at the other end as United try and strike back, and Aït-Nouri slid in and he's going to be penalised and a yellow card's going to be given against him. And Dendoncker and Neves fuming at that decision from Mike Dean.
I'd like to see the replay again. I just thought that he won the ball. Yeah.
Well, he does. It's a great challenge.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Referee's got that one wrong for me. Nothing wrong with it at all. But then again, you can't tackle anymore, can you? Might as well finish off the way that I was before. But
I think Dendoncker might have talked himself into a yellow card as well here.
Yes, yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. We've watched the replay, and I know the referees seen it in normal time, but it's good to have him back here. Crowd saying, you don't know what you're doing, referee.
Well, Mike Dean is has never been, shall we say, the most popular man.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. But I think he's just got that one totally wrong. And that's why I think Donker's ended up going in the book as well.
This is the 28th time he's taken charge of a Wolves game, 4th of this season.
I've got it right. He was the one at Cardiff, wasn't he?
Yeah. Here's Alanga from the short free kick. Ball deflects towards Diallo. Williams shows over the foot in, and Fabio Silva can try and bring it clear. Fabio Silva caught, but Mike Dean not interested. Matic. Field to Donny van der Beek. Now, one matter. Manchester United right, pouring forwards. On again towards the run of Van der Beek, and it's blocked off by Connor Cody and cleared by Aït-Nouri. Matic sending it back out to the right-hand side for Amad Diallo. It's it back from Elanga. Being forced backwards by Aït-Nouri, and goes back to Baye. Good 15 yards inside the Wolves half, though. Matic on behind, and it's Williams into the penalty, and it's Williams striking, and well saved by Patricio.
Good save.
Headed by Neves to Elanga, and his cross is going to come through and will be struck forwards by Alex Tellez over the top for a Wolves goal kick.
Yeah, Patricio had very much to do apart from get the ball out of the net, but called upon then. Good save, getting down. Yeah, big space. Well onside. Williams. Wally just got pulled out of that little pocket. Did well there, Patricio, with his angles.
Liverpool lead Crystal Palace by a goal to nil, and Tottenham have just equalised at Leicester. Harry Kane with the goal, 1-1 there now, so things are turning round even more. Albion are 2-0 down away at Leeds. Still Villa 0, Chelsea 0. Race for the top four changing again. Martinho flicking it forwards. Fabio Silva to Semedo on the right-hand side. Or we'll come back to Connor Cody, who looks to knock it in behind, looking for the run of Fabio Silva, trying to put pressure on Tanzabi. An awkward one back for Henderson, and Fabio Silva didn't give it up. And I think he keeps playing with that kind of energy.
Yeah. Well, you can hear what it means to the crowd, don't you?
Aït-Nouri's got himself in a bother at the other end, just about recovers. Mata for Diallo. Now Alex Tellez looking to lift it in towards Mata, headed away by Cody. Van der Beek tried to strike it, completely missed it.
Oh, great
Sliced
ball.
off the outside of his boot.
Out, yeah.
Went to Elanga. I've seen Tomo claim many of those in your career.
That was my career, mate. But fortunately, he just kept finding another player. Miss it.
It was how he managed to slice so many penalties in. That's the real question mark. Shouldn't have worn those aerodynamic fins on your boots. That's the problem. I know you thought they'd make you go faster, but
it's a metal toe cap boots, mate. I don't. All right, no, sorry. I played like I had metal toe cap boots on. That was a.
There's Willy Bolly. Last couple of seconds of the 45. Ryan Aït-Nouri. It's closed off by Elanga. Ball lifted in field. Elanga back to Williams, who will put his foot through it to halfway. Diallo gets it back from James. We're going to have 2 minutes being added on at the end of the half. And here's Daniel James, right-hand side of the Wolves penalty area. Support arriving. Blocked off, though, by Connor Cody. James again for Mata. Ball infield to Van der Beek. Cody in with the challenge. Cody winning the ball. Neves scooping it clear. Matic taking it wide. Now to drift infield towards the edge of the penalty area, now inside the box, and low one for James. Back to Van der Beek, who's trying to find room, and he's gone down, and Mike Dean has a decision to make, and he gives a goal kick as the ball goes behind. And it's Manchester United's turn to surround the referee.
Oh, it'd be interesting. I'm sure VAR will look at it. No. And he's booking himself. So he's catch him or not?
Oh, he does, you know.
Yeah, he does.
But he goes down a long way afterwards.
Yeah.
And the United players are still swarming around Mike Dean.
He catches him, but like you said, I think it's the time it's took him to actually go over.
I think that they are still checking.
Yeah.
When they look on Mike Dean here on VAR. Now, if this gets given as a penalty, it's a nonsense because he takes at least 2 steps before falling to the ground after the contact is made. So there is contact on Donny van der Beek.
But said you're right there. So I said it's 2 steps after it.
Now you almost want Mike Dean, if they're going to do this, to come and look at the screen, because yes, there is contact, but it's not the contact that sends him to the floor. He falls to the floor. He takes 2 steps before he falls to the floor. Mike Dean,
I think they're going to
still
give it.
waiting for the decision.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's going to come to the screen.
I think he'll give it.
He's made the signal, and he's going to come and have a look at the screen. He's got a long way to jog across here, Mike Dean, to come and have a look at it for himself.
I think he'll give it.
Question mark is whether they decide whether the contact is enough to warrant Donny van der Beek going over in the manner that he did. Mike Dean will get a view of it now.
I agree with you that he's took 2 steps, hasn't he?
Well, the problem here as well is that the replay he's seeing is not showing the full movement.
No. He's going to give a penalty for me.
So he puts his right foot. This is the issue, that if he goes over initially, penalty given.
Told you he would.
And this is it. Look, VAR on Wednesday looked at the Everton handball and decided it wasn't enough. And now look at that. Donny van der Beek, there's no doubt about it, he is caught by Romain Saiz.
Yeah,
but he takes his own right foot away and falls to the floor.
I just think that it's still down to somebody's opinion on what it is. And again, you look at that, the penalty, what wasn't awarded to Everton, at Everton game, sorry.
Juan Mata against Rui Patricio then in front of the North Bank. The final action of the first half. It's Mata left-footed. Patricio all in green. Stands waiting and Mata sends him the wrong way and Manchester United restore their lead. And you can hear what the Molineux faithful make of it.
There's never in any doubt once we went to VAR that Mark Dean was going to give it. But again, it's this consistency with the officials and VAR. And that's the frustrating. You can see what it means to the fans. It's frustrating for everybody. And again, the question, do they favour the top clubs? I think they do a little bit.
Well, no mistake with the finish by Juan Mata. And certainly many inside this stadium feel a mistake has been made in the awarding of it. Wolves 1, Manchester United 2. The thoughts of Chris Willemo and Claire Hageman to come at half-time as Neves lifts the ball wide towards Fabio Silva, who chest down for Semedo. Now Saiz, Matinho on the turn, trying to flick it through, blocked off by Tunzebi, cleared downfield. And the half-time whistle for Mike Dean, and those boos are not for the Wolves players. They are for the officials. And the decision that has been made that gave Manchester United a penalty, it's changed the course of this game, having Wolves got back into it. Anthony Elanga gave United the lead after 13 minutes, heading home, his third effort of the game at that point. But Nelson Semedo's first for Wolves from a lovely team move that got them back on level terms. And then the controversy to end the half.
Yeah, so again, so VAR not being our friend again for the game. But so Wolves did really well, got themselves back into the game. First goal for Semedo, nice in front of the Wolves fans. But then that setback with the penalty awarded to Man United from the VAR decision with Mike Dean looking at the screen. But I just think that it's harsh again. I think it's a harsh decision. But I think they'll be pleased with the way that things have gone, apart from that last minute goal just before half-time with put them in front.
More from Tomo to come. We'll also hear from Claire Hageman and Chris Willemo. Half-time show is coming next on Wolves TV.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Wolves Lottery is committed to helping Wolverhampton and the local community improve, whilst giving fans the chance to win some fantastic money can't buy prizes, excellent Wolves experiences, as well as £1,800 given away every week. For more information and to sign up online, visit wolves.co.uk/Wolves-Lottery.
The Old Goal Club has a new series, My Golden Game. Speaking to former and current players, coaches, managers and fans of the matches that meant the most to them.
It's a club who I have in my heart, and I always keep following it.
I'd been back to Molyneux on a few occasions, and I'd never got a good reception, and that hurt me a little bit. Not that I thought I deserved better, but maybe because of those two games against West Brom, where I scored 4 goals in 2 appearances.
Check out the series so far, featuring the likes of Jodian Lescott, Kevin Doyle, Neil Emblem and Dennis Irwin.
I was absolutely delighted when they came in for me, and even more so when, after having a tough first 4 or 5 months, that we were on a bit of a roll and ended up playing in this fantastic game.
Old Goal Club, My Golden Game, available now.
Wolves TV, the home of live uninterrupted radio commentary of every single Wolves game.
Here it is! Oh, you beauty!
But that's not all. Wolves TV also brings you extended and alternative match highlights, interviews with the team, behind-the-scenes features and training coverage, plus see every goal Wolves score from every angle.
The volley over the goal! That is simply stunning!
So check out Wolves TV online at wolves.co.uk or on the move via the Wolves app. Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Half time at Molyneux, then Wolves 1, Manchester United 2. Let me just run you through some of the stats before we go to our pundits for a view on it. Wolves just edging the possession 51% to 49. 5 shots for Wolves, only the 1 on target. 7 for United, 3 on target. Wolves with 4 corners to Manchester United's 2 so far in the game, but United slightly better in terms of their pass accuracy. Chris Walamo, you know what? We may as well just go straight to the penalty decision, because you probably heard me and Tomo. We didn't think it was. What did you think?
Penalty kick.
Oh, okay.
100% penalty kick. You know, it's one of those, if you're going to go to ground in the box and there's any contact, you know, you're giving the referee a decision to make. So what's the referee going to look at? He's going to say, is a contact? And you know what? That's even though it's probably slight, that can be a sore one. That is something that is going to make someone go to ground. And you know what? I'm looking at it, and as soon as I seen it on the replay, Mikey, I says it's a penalty kick. He's getting told that he's going to the screen, and Tom will call it. As soon as he went to the screen, you know what he's going to do. And it was the momentum. I think Saiz he's went to tackle, and then he's realised that he's not going to get there, and then he's tried to kind of pull out, but the momentum of the legs definitely made contact. And if that's a Wolves player, we'll tell him to we'll tell him to go down.
Well, yeah, but this is the issue, isn't it? And look, there will be lots of Wolves fans who are watching this and saying, yes, there is contact. I don't think anyone can deny that. But it's the fact that he takes an extra step and then pulls his foot away and goes down. It's not the contact that takes him down. Claire, what do you make of it?
I think I can see both sides of it. I think Saiz, he's running across the box.
Don't do this.
He doesn't need to make the tackle though either, because he's running across the box. Semedo is also there. he didn't need to make the challenge, I didn't think. However, the first replay that we saw, I think from kind of the direction of the halfway line from outside the box, it didn't look like a penalty so much. But as soon as we've slowed down the VAR to the point of seeing the contact, you could see how much his foot did move. The ref's going to give it, it's a soft one in some relation. The fact that he did take them a couple of touches afterwards as well. But Mike Dean's going to give it, isn't he? That second slow-mo, they slow-moed it that much that, anyone would have given it, so...
and you were right to say about the consistency of VAR, but we're not here to talk about that. That it has been a letdown. That certain decisions that have went against us this season, that one against Tottenham here at Molineux when Eric Dyer actually kicked the ball out and he's gave a corner. And it was he actually kicked the heel of, I think it was Jimenez, wasn't it? And put it out. It was a disgrace.
Fabio Silva, Eric Dyer kicked his heel.
That's right, kicked his heel. And Fabio Silva, he's went down. It's a penalty kick. So if they looked at that, how can they say that that's not a penalty kick? That was full contact because the referees gave a corner. He thought it was that Eric Dyer's got across his man. So was that a clear and obvious error? Yes, it was. I think this one with Mike Dean, he never gave it, Mike Dean, did he? He thought it was a dive himself, but again, there's contact. For him to have to go and look at it at the screen, if there's any contact, then you're giving the referee a decision to make. But there's so many positives to talk about in that half as well. Okay, disappointing conceding the goal, but again, got on the ball, tried to make things happen. The goal itself was a fantastic bit of play. Nelson Semedo underlap, the way to pass from Dendonka, and then Fabio Silva, who I've got to say, he's on it today. Even the ball's in the corner, it's sticking, he's keeping the ball, he's playing with a smile on his face, a little bit of quality to put it back into the path of Semedo. And you know what? He's opened his account, Semedo, as well. So what a time to do that. It's massive. That is massive for any player to get their first goal. So there is positives. I see he's coming out again and getting back into this match, but we can't concede again. Just defend solid, no silly kind of decisions in that defensive third for me.
Just to let you know, by the way, Raul Jimenez is doing an interview down at pitch side. That was the applause that you heard a moment or so ago. He's talking on the big screen right now. Tomo, Looms and Claire both mentioned Fabio Silva. You mentioned in commentary the fact that he was doing things in this game and on Wednesday night that he wouldn't have been doing when he first got in the team.
No, and I said this the other night. I said, look, you can see the massive improvements in his game. His link-up play, the way that he holds up, he looks stronger. And look, he's still learning the game. He's still only 18, 19. But you can definitely see the improvements. And we've said it before, when players come under Nuno, so look, you can see improvements. Your Jotas, your Costas, Cavalleros, you've seen the improvements in the players. And again, you've seen Silva again playing today. At Everton, it was clear for everybody to see the way that he plays. His hold-up play, his strength, being able to hold off defenders. Because when he first come in, he was just getting knocked out the way. He couldn't hold the ball up. And there's been massive improvements in his game.
Claire Hakeman, from another point of view, though, of a young player, Ryan Aït-Nouri, fullback was a position that you played towards the end of your career. That first goal for United, he just kind of got caught the wrong side, didn't he?
Yeah, I think, I'd have kind of hoped he might have given Bolly a bit of a shout to drop off a little bit, because if he'd have dropped off slightly, he'd have probably won the flick on. But Aït-Nouri, it was just a foot race. He was in the wrong position and was never going to stop it, basically. But I think Semedo now and Aït-Nouri are key to this game now, especially with Traoré going off. That's where there's so much space there for them to drive into. And I think they'll be pretty integral. I think as the game goes on, Vitinha and Gibbs-White have got to be knocking on the door to come on and have a bit of an impact as well in the final third, potentially. But there's lots to go at. I think fullbacks, especially when we're playing three at the back, they've got to have a lot more freedom to attack and get forward and get involved in the game and start creating us a few more chances.
Yeah, I think that with Traoré going off as well, I think they've got to offer that wide position as well now for me. I think where we've had Traoré, who's breaking through the Man United defensive lines, the fullback's got to give it a little bit more. For the first goal, Aït-Nouri just got caught, wrong position, on the wrong side. But again, it's promising to see it come back again, got themselves on level. I know they conceded the penalty towards the end of that first half, but for me, I think that they play some decent stuff. Just got to try and create that little bit more in that top third as well.
I think disappointed that Traore's went off. Obviously,
Yeah.
gutted that he's injured because I thought it'd been an excellent game for him today. You know, you've seen little flashes of it. The positive side to it, Willian José and Silva together, I think two up top is an option. You know, for me, it is a way that has its successes. You know, so I'd like to see them linking up. But again, it's down to the service that they get. But what obviously Claire and Tom have said about the fullbacks, they're so important today. You know, can they win those battles, you know, down each flank? And then when they do get into that attacking third, it's about the quality that's coming into the box. I just feel that that final pass is let us down. And then obviously when it has been spot on, we've got the goal from it. But we need that energy. If it's underlaps, overlaps, whatever it may be, the full-backs are massive. They are. It's such an important position for all teams now, isn't it?
So you're still confident, Looms, that they can get something back?
Well, it's not a 4-0 and Traore hat-trick, is it? But you know what? I'm just taking a win. I'm just taking a win. I just feel that Man United have had some great passages of play. You know, they've used the ball really well, made it really difficult for us. They've got the goal, but we've done what we've done all season. We've shown that character, got back into the match. You know, we're on top with possession. It's just that little bit of quality, and we've got the individuals that can do it. You know, I think you know, that like Neves, I want to see him more getting on the ball, doing what he does. You know, because he's not really stamping his authority the way that I would expect him to, especially in that just in behind. So can he get more into the match?
Claire, final word from you.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great. Nuno's giving his final team talk in there, isn't he, at half time? I mean, like, if the players don't come out bouncing off this, we've traditionally been a team that play well in the second half, and hopefully it didn't quite happen at Everton. So hopefully today's the day and they go and get the result.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. More from you, Per. After the final whistle, Wolves are back out. Manchester United are joining them. Don't go anywhere. Second half in just a moment's time.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
Wolves Lottery is committed to helping Wolverhampton and the local community improve, whilst giving fans the chance to win some fantastic money can't buy prizes, excellent Wolves experiences, as well as £1,800 given away every week. For more information and to sign up online, visit wolves.co.uk/Wolves-Lottery.
Matchday Live on Wolves TV. Listen for free online at wolves.co.uk or on the move anywhere in the world via the Wolves app.
So the second 45 minutes, the last 45 minutes of the season, the last 45 of the Nuno era. An era that has perhaps been defined by some incredible comebacks. Is there time for one more? Wolves 1, Manchester United 2 then. On Wolves TV, Matchday Live Extra. No changes from either side of the break. Wolves already forced into that one in the first half with Willian José coming on for the injured Adama Traore. So Patricio in goal, Saiss, Cody Bolly, Aït-Nouri and Semedo, the wing backs, then Duncan, Neves and Moutinho in midfield, Fabio Silva and Willian José up top. United with Henderson in goal, back four of Williams, Bailly, Tuanzebe and Alex Telles, Matic, Van der Beek, midfield, Mata, Alanga, James and Diallo, their attacking four. Mata finding Van der Beek. Wolves attacking Stankovic North Bank second half. And Mata trying to play it on here for Alanga. Scored the first goal, finding Mata score of the second. The Van der Beek winner of the controversial penalty. Here's Williams. Wide for Elanga. On down the line for Diallo. For Elanga once more, allowed to turn and run at Bolly and then falls to the floor, and Wolves will just get a goal kick.
Elanga just gone to ground there. I think Bolly just stood across him, didn't he? Just get out of my way kind of thing.
Well,
good bit of defending.
Yeah. Devil's advocate in me would say, if you've already won one penalty by falling to the floor.
Yeah. Don't be like that. Come on, Michael.
Say Nuri. Back infield to Bolly. Now to Cody. You know, it's been a bugbear all season, really.
Oh, no. And like I say,
people falling over it.
We've had to bite our lip at times, haven't we? So it's never been a consistent situation with the way things have gone, especially when VAR has been called upon and decisions from officials.
Say Nuri for Wolves down the left-hand side. There's 3 players around him from United, and he'll end up getting a throw. Sam says Brighton Wolf and her pack. Carl and Eddie checking in. Come on, you Wolves. Lisa is driving up the M5 with Rich. Really hope we can get a result as a send-off for Nuno. James says, can we vote for Nuno as man of the match? Might be going to Semedo at this stage as he steps in and wins possession back again, just over halfway. Saiz back to Cody. Matt says, gotta love our uniquely colourful chants. David says, good morning from Gallatin, Missouri. Martinho finds Semedo. Semedo trying to stand across up. Willian Jose's header, couldn't get any power behind it.
Yeah.
Comfortable take for Henderson.
I think Bailly just put a little enough pressure on him, didn't he? Jumped up with him. Couldn't really generate any power. Come off the back of his head, if anything, as well. Yeah, but good run down that right-hand side by Semedo. We spoke about what he needs to be doing in this game. The fullbacks are going to be important to the way that we play. Just got to try and get them in a lot more.
It's Mata for United, being tracked by Saiz, and United will get a free kick. So David is at home nursing his wife's post-Achilles tendon tear surgery.
Oh, it even sounds painful, doesn't it?
Matic for Bain. The right side to Williams, just short of halfway. Infield to Van der Beek. The wind is so strong, it's knocking over barriers down below us in the Billy Wright stand. There's a long ball forward, so go all the way through to Patricio. There's a very strong breeze, slightly behind Wolves, I think, maybe second half, although corner flags at either end of the South Bank, not going in all sorts of directions.
I just think that they've got to start to take more of a little bit of a gamble now, Wolves, in that mean pushing forward. Can we get up there a little bit quicker?
Nuri for Bolly. Now for Martinho. To remain Saiz. Midway inside the Wolves half. Into the centre circle to Dendoncker. The right hand side to Neves. Neves trying to lift one early. Looking for the run of Fabio Silva, who's not giving it up as he chases it all towards the corner flag. Just ran out of room.
Well, I think there's the case for what you're talking about, the wind. So you see Neves just trying to do it, but I think the wind got hold of it and we're just taking it further and further away from Silva on every bounce.
That's an example of something that we maybe haven't seen as much as we would have liked to this season of Ruben Neves, with maybe the shackles off and playing the kind of outrageous passes that he is more than capable of doing.
Yeah.
Saiz stepping in. Willian Jose looking for Semedo, a little bit on his heels. Man United throw. Memory goes back to famous Wolves moments. Remember away at Watford just a month after we'd lost the FA Cup semi-final to them, and
what was it? What did they class it as? Just booting it.
Well, Ben Foster claimed it was
just a big
an overhit cross, I think.
Great ball.
Neves in field. Fabio Silva trying to take it on, just showed a bit too much of it to Tunzebi. So he put pressure on him.
Tell you what, he's put himself about, isn't he, Silva? It's great work from him.
Well, it's ended up being a Wolves throw.
Yeah, and that comes down to just chasing everything. never giving up on anything.
Norris throw back. Ollie away from Diallo. Infield to Neves. Neves played a lovely ball here last season at Everton, to remember, in restart, for Jota to run on and score.
Yeah.
Martinho. Saiz to Semedo. On the turn, looking to cross in. Williams shows they couldn't quite grab it. It was a little bit behind him. And Elanga bringing the ball clear at speed. Ollie steps across. Nori for Jose. And Jose finding Bolly. And now Dendoncker and Wolves can switch it from left to right. Dendoncker finding Saiz. Out to the feet of Semedo. Nothing really ahead of him. Has to go back to Saiz. Martinho. Wide for Semedo once more. 2 players for company. Back to Saiz again. Infield to Neves. Option is there to try and switch the play, and he takes it wide to the feet of Aït-Nouri, and Aït-Nouri trying to drive infield and now twisting and turning and just inside the penalty area. Cross blocked by Brandon Williams. Aït-Nouri has it again. Needs some support. We'll get it from Bolly.
Yeah, so some good play, some good patient play from Wolves. Just like to see us just be on the off turn a little bit there when receiving it in those little pockets, just to get at Man United.
Aït-Nouri skipping in field away from Elanga, trying to drive across in, deflected off Williams, another Wolves corner.
Yeah, he did well there, Aït-Nouri. And so that's what we need from our fullbacks. We need to be pushing on.
I think Villa have got a second goal against Chelsea. They lead by 2 goals to 0.
Is it Leicester 1 each for Tottenham, is it?
Leicester are now 2-1 up against Spurs. Martinho with a corner. Short to Aït-Nouri. Pulled back infield to Neves, who's a bit fired at him, really.
It was, wasn't it?
Got a foot in.
It was it at him.
Semedo crossing from deep. Players arriving. It's going to drop towards Dendoncker. And now Martinho. Left-hand side of the box, pulled back infield to Neves. Neves trying to shoot, deflects, and it will be a Wolves corner.
Nice, great little spell for them. Great little spell. But you're just looking at it, it's just not right, is it? So like overhit passes, overhit cross. Great balling from Semedo. Great balling. And that's the quality that you want. You want to cause them a problem. So the ball zipped into Neves. He did well to actually get so much on it.
There's a couple of Wolves fans in the North Bank who've got their tops off now. As Martinho looks to whip it in. Comfortable take for Dean Henderson. And let's just say that they are probably old enough to know better. The 4 fellas with their tops off, with rather fine physiques. They're enjoying themselves.
Well, that's a way of keeping yourself warm, I suppose. Jigging around.
Bolly winning ahead of forwards. You gotta love it. Ball switched by Henderson for Tellez. There's a stray white bag on the pitch, which is getting Man United's way for a moment. Comes all the way through to Saiz. One of the older fellas is putting his top back on. It's got a bit too chilly. All over the top, looking for the run of Semedo. The flag has stayed down. Semedo will keep this in by the byline. Couple of yards from the corner flag, trying to cut back infield. Back to Neves. First time ball whipped towards the far post. Might have been a shot from Neves.
Oh, I think more of a cross. I know it's gone pretty close to the goal. I think that was more of a cross. Yeah, just caught the back end of the net, didn't it, on its way down.
Still fascinated by these 3 topless fellas, because there's someone in a row just down in front of them who's got a pink parka on. That's the juxtaposition of how cold it actually is.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one of them, there was 4 of them at one stage. He's put his top back on and his coat.
There they are.
Realised.
They've just been on the screen. People at home will have just seen what we've been seeing as Henderson takes his time and gets a yellow card for wasting too much time. So Arsenal 1, Brighton 0, Villa 2, Chelsea 0, Fulham 0, Newcastle 1, Leeds 2, Albion 0, Leicester 2, Spurs 1, Liverpool 1, Palace 0, Man City 3, Everton 0, Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0, West Ham 2, Southampton 0. All the latest scores.
That'll put Newcastle on the same points as us, won't it? But we've got better goal difference. I think it's 2, isn't it?
By 1 at the moment.
Or is it 1?
As things stand. Neves for Semedo to Saiz. Saiz been urged to shoot from distance, but he finds William Jose, who helps it on to Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri lifting a cross in. He was a little bit too deep for Fabio Silva and headed out of the penalty area. And Mata trying to bring it clear and finds Williams. Shown infield by Ait-Nouri. Van der Beek. Challenged by Neves, but the ball rebounds to Williams. Wide to Mata. Infield to Matic. Flick through the gap to Diallo. And Diallo trying to send it on. And Daniel James is in behind. And James scoops it well wide. And that's a glorious chance for United to get their third.
Well, they've tried to play offside, but he's just too quick, isn't he, Dan James? It's that little ball from Matic. This is well onside. I'll say if you're in a foot race with him, he's gonna beat you all day, isn't he? He's pretty quick, Dan James.
Crystal Palace losing, by the way. They're one of the teams who could have climbed high and overtaken Wolves. So as things stand, Wolves are going to finish 12th. Albion are actually going to drop to 19th. They'll stay in 19th. They won't be able to catch Fulham.
Well, Gibbs White's been called back by Nuno.
Diallo holding off Moutinho. Langer back in field. Van der Beek for Matic. Arsenal are climbing above Spurs as things stand into 7th. So it'll be the Gunners who will get the Europa Conference spot. And no European football for Tottenham.
That'll be a massive blow for them, wasn't it? Their expectations of Champions League. And then they've ended up with nothing. Well, could end up with nothing.
There's Van der Beek. Mata or Bolly just stepped down for a second, and Saiz read the danger this time and got there across ahead of James.
Read it well, didn't he? Read it really well.
William Jose holding the ball up. Looked like he was dragged back by Bailly. Mike Dean disagreed.
No, of course he would.
Diallo to Elanga on the left-hand side. Semedo going out to track him. Just a yard or two outside the penalty area. Back for Alex Telles, infield to Mata. Now Elanga again. Back to one Mata once more. Looks to find Donny van der Beek. Now Nemanja Matic. Midway inside the Wolves half. Blocked off by William Jose. Ball comes to Bailly.
I'll tell you what, it's just all the little ricochets just seem to be dropping for Man United at the minute, don't they?
Then Donker's found Moutinho, who tried to feed it through for the run of Fabio Silva, but Alex Telles slid in and intercepted.
Well, he's away then if he'd done it. Oh.
59 and a half minutes played. Wolves 1, Manchester United 2. So all these results today mean that Leeds will climb to 9th, and no doubt lots in the media will claim that it's the best season from a team being promoted up, conveniently forgetting that we finished 7th twice in a row.
Make sure you keep telling them, Michael. Keep telling them.
It's been one of those stories of the season as Morgan Gibbs-White will come on for Leander Dendoncker. And everyone talks about the way that Leeds have come up and adapted to the Premier League. Still not as good as Wolves.
No, we did really well. Did really well. Because we were pushing for that top 6 quite a lot throughout the 2 seasons, weren't we? FA Cup semi-final as well.
Europa quarter-final.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look back at that, say it's been a great achievement from them. And with the size of squad that we had as well.
Who knows what the future has in store. It's been a wonderful journey to get to this point, but 4 years ago, we'd have never imagined it.
No.
Imagine where we'll be in another 4 years. It's only 7 years since we were in League One.
I know.
Gibbs-White switches the play to Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri, edge of the penalty area, twisting and turning onto his left foot, driving low, and a comfortable take for Henderson.
Yeah, a little bit close to the keeper, wasn't it? Ait-Nouri, you can see twisting and turning, trying to open up the space against Williams. But he's just a little bit too close to the keeper there. Made it a little bit easy for him. But again, That's what he's got to do. That's what he's got to push on.
Mata for Alex Tellers. Up over the halfway line come United. Back in field to Mata, trying to lift it on for the run of Elanga down the left-hand side. Semedo got across to him, but unfairly, according to Mike Dean.
What is the difference between what we've just seen in front of us with Willian getting pushed and that?
Little hand in the back by Nelson Semedo.
Not enough to push you over. Just saw Willian getting pulled back by one of the Man United defenders. A couple of Wolves fans there in the crowd, the camera on them, not happy.
Say Mike Dean will never be the most popular man around these parts.
Well, look, officials aren't going to be popular if they keep giving decisions against your team, are they? Never going to be popular.
I'm sure he's loving crowds being back. Tellez, left-footed from the left-hand side. Cross came towards the edge of the box and it was read by Matinho. Long kick forwards that Gibbs White's giving chase. Brandon Williams laying it all the way back to Henderson. Shouldn't be forgotten that Mike Dean was the referee who gave the penalty to Burnley in the last minute against Matt Doherty in the back end of last season, a result that cost Wolves the opportunity to go for the Champions League. Langer being challenged by Saiz. I thought the ball was already out, and I think you might be agreeing.
Yeah, I'll just bite my lip and say nothing, I think. That they did the penalty at Burnley.
Yeah, innit? And if you're not going to say it, I'm going to say it. It hit Matt Doherty's arms after he was shielding his face because he thought he was going to get a boot to the face. And yet, Kieran Gibbs and the one on Wednesday night fully palmed the ball and Wolves didn't get a penalty. Not that we're bitter.
Well, it's just about consistent. If they're doing it for everybody, then it's fine.
Max Kilman at Leicester this season cost Wolves the game. Ball just hit his arm from a cross. And Jean Matinho infield towards Fabio Silva. Looked like he was caught there by Brandon Williams. The Wolves do get a free kick this time to the ironic cheers. Base of the centre circle. 64 minutes played. Wolves still trying to find a route back into the game. Semedo down the right-hand side. Midway inside the United half. Infield to Willian Jose. Backwards to Bolly. Still inside the United half. Wolves play. Neves for Matinho. And to Cody. Saiz will help it on down the right-hand side for Semedo. Looking infield. Willian Jose came short. Plays it wide for Gibbs White. Gibbs White infield to Semedo. Now leaving it for Willian Jose. Back infield to Matinho, middle of the half. Wide again for Semedo. Now can set himself and hits a deep cross that Fabio Silva nods down into a good area, but nobody quite there, and Van der Beek cleared.
Yeah, got to have somebody on the move. Expect him to win it, and we talk about this time and time again. Having a gamble. Think that he's going to win that header.
Semedo down the line. Gibbs White on the Wolves' right-hand side. Little short pass to Semedo. Short again behind to Saiz. Infield to Matinho. Matinho will now try and switch the play with a lovely pass out to Aït-Nouri, but the flag's gone up. Ryan Aït-Nouri is offside.
Yeah, he's got to be looking right along the line there. Offside. He's no need for him to be offside.
Ellen says she feels the equaliser is coming. Arsenal have got a second against Brighton. They now lead by 2-0. One potential brighter side to that Manchester United penalty is that it means we go over 2.5 goals. So mine is a winning bet today. So we've earned even more money for the Wolves Foundation.
Yeah.
Silver linings, Tomo.
All about it, mate. Something comes out of it.
The rain is going to get a little bit heavier.
You're loving this summer weather?
Oh, yeah. Diallo driving in field. Aït-Nouri and Bolly combine. Martinho back to Cody. It's been a far cry from some previous matches. Say, reminiscing about the last 4 years. The game against Crusaders here. July, at the start of last year's epic season, where it was about 40 degrees in the evening. We're all in shorts and t-shirts.
Well, I've looked at some pictures of when we end the seasons and all that, and we're in t-shirts. We're in t-shirts, some baking down, it's warm.
And this is a later finish than some of those as well.
Yeah, that was the beginning of May. Got your winter coat on still.
One thing to note is that Wolves have actually lost all 3 final days of the season under Nuno.
Oh.
That'll be an unwanted record if he makes it 4 from 4. There's Van der Beek. Midway inside the Wolves half, 10 in from the right-hand touchline. Mata takes over. Daniel James back to Williams. Infield to Diallo. Now, and then Williams again. Cody intercepts. Gibbs-White to bring it forwards and trying to release Semedo. Over the halfway line comes the Portuguese wing-back. Now trying to cut back in field towards the corner of the box, just sent a little bit further away from it by Mata. His ball in field deflects nearly towards Fabio Silva. Matic's just got a foot to it, and Henderson tries to clear. Martinho's nod down. Gibbs-White can't control. Manchester United through Elanga, and now Mata can carry it forwards over the halfway line. Approaching the final 20 minutes of the season. Is this one going the same way as Sunderland, Liverpool and Chelsea in final day defeats over the last couple of years? Adam Williams on halfway to Mata on the right-hand side of the centre circle. To lift it to Alex Telles on the left-hand side. Tempo's just gone, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, they've just took the pace out of the game, haven't they? They're just trying to run the clock down a little bit now. I know there's still plenty of time left, but they're just taking the time with everything. Like set plays, throw-ins, just passing, just slowing it down. So he's got a bit of a problem as well. I don't know what he's done. We just got a kick Mata accidentally, but just a bit sore, just above his shin, I think, or shin pad, I should say.
Aït-Nouri nodding the ball down to Bolly midway inside his own half. Bolly looking to knock it long for the run of Fabio Silva. It was a good run and he was well spotted, but ball just beat him and went out of play for a throw.
See, that's the ball that I think that sometimes you've got to use. There's just that ball out the top, and it's good that we've got somebody like Silva who will run beyond. Just overhit there slightly by Bolly.
Nuno in deep discussion with Rui Pedro Silva. It's faithful number 2. 1 change left. Wolves get a throw. Midway inside the half. Taken quickly by Semedo to Saiz. Neves allowed to turn and look downfield and find Semedo. Semedo further wide for Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White looking to run Alex Telles towards the byline, lifts a good cross in. It was just a bit too high for William Jose, and Aït-Nouri just hesitated.
Yeah, again, it's just, if you think he's going to get past, that's what you can do with the assurance that you've got at the back, with the 3 at the back. Wing backs can get in there. And he's just paused a little bit, Aït-Nouri. He reacted just after the ball went. Just have a gamble.
Martinho for Saiz. Infield to Martinho, 25 yards from goal. Right-hand side of the box to Gibbs-White. Tried to feed it infield to Fabio Silva. United with the numbers back to defend, but It's all of a sudden become a bit attack versus defence. Neves on the turn, and an outside of his right boot pass, looking for Fabio Silva, who will keep it in 5 yards from the right-hand corner flag to Matinho. Back towards Fabio Silva. Looking for Matinho, Wolves settling for the throw.
Yeah, good little spell. Good little spell for Wolves here. Can they get an opportunity? Can they create something? Man United just got everybody beyond the ball at the moment.
Chelsea have one back at Villa Park, 2-1 there. Trying to keep their automatic qualification for the Champions League hopes alive. The final, of course, next week. If they win that, then they'll be back in it. Saiss running down the left. Shades of when we saw him in midfield in the promotion season. Gibbs White for Semedo.
Just need the ball to come in. Does somebody cross it? So like I know it's patient play out there, but you just want somebody just to pass across the ball.
Cody with a lovely pass looking for Semedo.
Good look good.
Beat him towards the byline, but maybe looked like he just pulled up a little bit earlier than he needed to. Yeah, there. I think he could have got that.
I was surprised he put the brakes on as early as he did.
Back TV replays of a possible arm from Bailly in the face of Willian Jose as he went to try and get on the end of Morgan Gibbs White's cross.
Oh yes, just put his hand right across him, hasn't he?
Ollie intercepting. Van der Beek got it back from him though. Diallo. Back again from Van der Beek. Diallo looking to drive at Bolly onto Daniel James, who's offside.
I was going to say he's miles off.
Sergio Aguero has scored on his final appearance for Man City. They lead Everton by 4-0. Wouldn't rule out more goals here just yet.
Well, Man United have not really been pushing anything forward, have they? They've just been happy just to keep possession of the ball in that middle area. So Wolves have been the team that have tried to push a little bit more. Just like it's just be a little bit more direct. Can we get the ball into the box a little bit earlier?
There is Neves to Matinho. Now for Bolly. Ruben Neves, right-hand side of the centre circle. Saiss in field to Neves once more. To switch it for Aït-Nouri. Lovely ball and lovely take from Aït-Nouri. Level with the edge of the penalty area onto Gibbs White. Flagger stayed down. Gibbs White trying to lift it into the danger zone. Might drop towards Neves. Oh, now was Neves caught. Fans behind the goal certainly think so as Saiss feeds it down the right-hand side to Willian Jose. Neves is still down inside the box. Comes out to Matinho. Controlled on the chest. Diallo with a foot in. In goes Bolly with a strong challenge. And Manchester United are going to get a free kick. And Bolly's tackle on Amad Diallo, and he gets a yellow card.
That's one. Let's see if he goes back. That decision on that. Neves is still down. Didn't say anything. No.
Neves in with Alex Telles.
Yeah, he's kicked. Neves has kicked him, as he Telles. Telles just got the ball there.
Both players are down inside the penalty area. Bolly still fuming. Cody fuming. Came out to Bolly. Strong challenge on Diallo. I don't think studs were up until after he'd gone through and got the ball.
I think he's got it with his toe rather than his studs, wasn't he? I think, again, harsh decision against him.
Bailly with the free kick. 14 minutes remaining. Langer's ball in field. Bolly trying to turn it back to halfway. Gibbs White on to Fabio Silva. And Fabio Silva getting the better of Bailly up towards the edge of the box. Can't quite get the ball out of his feet. And United got the numbers back to defend. Saiz for Gibbs White. Wolves still pressing. Williams Jose, right-hand side, looking to lift a cross in and comfortable take for Henderson.
Yeah, I think he took a big deflection there. Straight to Henderson's hands. Again, Silva just trying to break that line. I think it's Brandon Williams. Just got back at him. He's already been booked, Henderson. He's taking his time again with the ball.
Williams trying to lift it forwards. Bolly with a challenge on Elanga. Eight Nouri's just kept it in. 13 minutes remain at Molineux of the 2020-21 season. Moutinho for Gibbs White. Set back for Moutinho. Flicked wide to Semedo. His touch just took him outside the penalty area. Pulled back to Gibbs White. Whips his cross into the near post. Headed away by Tunzebi. Moutinho getting there ahead of Mata. Saiz under pressure, having to go back to Cody and now to Bolly. The Wolves are just turning the screw a little bit. As Neves finds Semedo and races to get in the penalty area. Back to Saiz. Saiz will try and lift it into the danger zone. Off the head of Bailly. And then Diallo got there ahead of Eight Nouri, but Wolves will get the throw. Marcel's playing ball boy and Eight Nouri gets on with things. Thrown in field to Neves. Back to Connor Cody. To Ruben Neves once more. Looking downfield. Gibbs White, a little short option. It goes left to Bolly instead. Now for Gibbs White, infield to Neves. Switched across the centre circle to Moutinho. Route out wide, closed off. Goes to Gibbs White. Nice little turn from Gibbs White. Flicked forwards towards Fabio Silva. Couldn't quite get it under control. United clear only as far as Cody.
Another probing, aren't they, Wolves? So just haven't got the breakthrough yet.
Neves with a lovely ball looking to Semedo. Oh, and he tried to play back. Fabio Silva trying to strike it, blocked. Comes to Fabio Silva again, another shot blocked on the turn. And Daniel James and Moutinho challenge.
Well done.
Wolves win it back. Semedo, infield to Gibbs White. You can hear the crowd's response. Saiz taking over. Infield to Jean Moutinho. Now Neves. Neves lining at one from distance, and it's well wide at the right-hand post of Dean Henderson.
Yeah, it's been good to play, haven't they? So great ball from Neves for Semedo. So timing his run. Just couldn't pick anybody out, could he? And then it just didn't break for any of our strikers. Silva have a couple of goes at it.
It's a wonderful ball by Neves for Semedo a moment ago.
He just didn't do anything. He just couldn't pick anybody out, could he? That was the time that he just needed to get somebody there.
Ball by Williams, intercepted by Cody. Now Saiz. His pass intercepted by Matic. We have just over 10 minutes to play. United are preparing a double change. Hannibal Mabry and Shola Shorataya or Shortire. I'm going to go Shortire.
Testing you, mate. Testing you.
And I'm going to go Hannibal. That's what he's got on his shirt, so that'll do. He's got a tremendous hairstyle. Here comes Ahmed Diallo. Manchester United right. Bolly stretches that long right leg and intercepts. Ball comes to Moutinho. And Saiz midway inside the half. Scoops it over the head of James for Semedo. But Alex Telles read it. And now Diallo to carry it up towards the edge of the penalty area. Strikes it low, but a comfortable save for Patricio.
That bag's still doing its rounds, isn't it? It's gone all round. If you know on the pitch, it hasn't blown off the pitch yet.
Rui Patricio with a comfortable save to deny Ahmed Diallo. Now Morgan Gibbs White.
I knew he's gone down as well here, just in front of us.
Cody will stop the play and United will make their changes. I think Marcel is getting stripped and ready.
Yeah, I didn't see anything what happened. I don't know if he was caught.
So one Mata will come off for Hannibal. Shola Shortire will come on for Amad Diallo by the looks of things.
Yes. I knew it's the end of his season as well. Oh, we're in the last 10 minutes, aren't we? Well into it. Can we get an opening? Can we get that equaliser?
Marcel's first opportunity to play in front of a Wolves crowd. It's been a frustrating wait for him. He's back on the bench for the last couple of games, having missed 10 matches in what's been a very injury-affected season. Volley for Saiz to Neves. Scooped down the line for the run of Semedo. 10 yards from the corner flag. Support from Gibbs-White if he needs it. Now here's Matinho for Neves. Lifted through. An attempted scorpion kick by Gibbs-White. Looped high in the air. Comfortable take.
I think he's hurt himself, though. I think he's hurt himself doing it.
Well, worrying moments for him.
Shoulder, I think. Fell on his shoulder for now.
Man City now lead Everton by 5-0, but here's where it now gets interesting. Spurs have equalised at Leicester, so it's 2-2 there. Chelsea is still 2-1 down at Villa. Liverpool is still 2-0 up against Crystal Palace. All of which means, in terms of the Premier League table, Liverpool are going to jump above Chelsea and Leicester to finish third, and Chelsea would hang on by 2 goals on goal difference to get the Champions League space, despite losing. Leicester in 5th, West Ham in 6th, Arsenal up to 7th, Spurs down to 8th, Leeds in 9th, Everton 10th, then come Villa in 11th and Wolves in 12th by virtue of 1 goal on goal difference above Newcastle. Newcastle have scored more goals, so if Man United were to get another one here.
Did you say that Tottenham are beating Leicester?
I know it's 2-2.
I've got 3-2 down on here.
3-2.
Yeah, to Tottenham.
Not come through on my screen just yet. West Ham have got a third. Against Southampton, they lead by 3-0. Fulham 0, Newcastle 1. Sheffield United 1, Burnley 0.
That puts Tottenham back up into 7th, though, doesn't it? Yeah, above Arsenal.
And they'll be getting the Europa Conference spot. They're all fighting it out for that Europa Conference.
Yeah.
5 minutes to go. Morgan Gibbs-White is okay and continues. Having made all their changes. There come United up towards the edge of the penalty area. Infield to Daniel James. Now Alanga trying to curl one from distance.
Oh, why not? He's got a goal already, hasn't he? He's well off the mark with that one.
So Matinho for Saiz. Now to Semedo. Back in field to Cody. Confirmation that Spurs now lead at Leicester by 3-2. It was back in the Wolves half, so he used to chase.
For all the pressure that Wolves have, I think they deserve that equaliser, don't they? So look, I know they've not really created that much clear cut.
Long ball forwards to Fabio Silva, took it nicely. Support for Marçal on the left, and Marçal whipping a ball in, but nobody quite on the end of it.
No, he's just a little bit too close to the Henderson, wasn't it? The goalkeeper of Man United. You can see he was just trying to get his foot through it, Marçal. Wasn't able to.
Clearance by Bailly. Hannibal back to Van der Beek, and Van der Beek was clipped by Neves, and I think his trailing arm caught Neves in the face. There's a Manchester United free kick. 3 minutes remaining.
I think there'll be quite a bit when they're with the stoppage for Gibbs White.
Matic to carry it forwards. Alanga backwards. It was intercepted by Fabio Silva. Neves. Or Gibbs White.
Could have turned. There's nobody, just needed the shout.
Manchester United with a rather soft free kick as we head towards the final 2 minutes. Just want you to be able to hear. Perhaps they close to the final rounds of Nuno Had a Dream ringing around this stadium. Cody for Matinho. Now to the right hand side to Saiz. Gets it back from Semedo. Hannibal to try and bring it forwards for United. It will be a Wolves throw just over the halfway line. 65 seconds of the 90 remains. Is there to be one final twist? As Bolly finds Cody at the base of the centre circle. Carried forwards to Saiz on the right-hand side. In towards Gibbs White. Semedo poking it forward. Saiz's flick. Gibbs White carrying it infield. He was caught late. It comes to Neves.
Well, there's not a free kick. We've got no advantage.
Volley to Marçal. His attempted first-time pass blocked up by Williams. Wolves throw.
Yeah, just got to keep going, keep plugging away. Just hope you get another chance. You can take it. Get yourself on level terms.
Neves for Bolly. Down the line for Marçal. Still 35 yards from goal. Infield to Matinho. Last 5 seconds of the 90. Fourth official is ready with the board. Bolly, infield to Neves. Now to Cody. We're going to have 5 minutes being added on. Ball lifted in towards Fabio Silva, who nodded it down. Williams shows they couldn't quite get there. United just with the numbers back, and Marçal blocking the clearance for United throw.
Well, that's been the story of this second half, hasn't it? They have had numbers there. They've always been in the right place. There's some good play.
It's finished Fulham 0, Newcastle 2. Which means Wolves are dropping to 13th as things stand. Unless they find an equaliser. Gibbs White striking. It's just wide of the right-hand post. Not a bad effort having been teed up by Romain Saiz.
No, so it was a good effort. Just needed to hit the target though, didn't he?
He is one of the stories of the last couple of games. Morgan Gibbs White, who knows what his future holds.
Oh, but all the players will be like thinking like that though. all the players will be thinking what's going to happen now.
Well, he was always a player hoping to feature more prominently next season. Man United have a player down. And just listen to this noise as Nuno looks wistfully towards the south bank. Should say that we thank you for being with us all the way through this year. Not always been easy. Lots of people have found themselves in trying circumstances during this COVID pandemic. Eventually we do get a full stadium back. There will be, fortunately, too many who would have been joining us and aren't anymore. There have been people who've had difficulties in their work situations and more. Hopefully there are better times ahead for everyone. Henderson clearing the ball forwards. Officially, still 2.5 minutes to go, but there will be more time as Gibbs-White drives on here towards the edge of the box. Marçal's attempted cross. Now, did that hit a hand? Wolves fans asking the question. Mike Dean not interested. Neves for Matinho. Midway inside the United half to his right hand side to Semedo. Back in field to João Matinho. Now Neves again towards Gibbs-White. Helped force to Fabio Silva. Was he clipped on the edge of the box? Eric Bailly tells him to get up and United play on. Hannibal through the legs of Bolly and then caught by Marçal. United free kick on halfway.
Yeah, Silva's just got to stay on his feet there on that edge of the box. Just watching it again. No.
Shoulder more than anything.
It's more the shoulder, yeah. Probably within given against us, lot, but
Langer tackled by Marçal. Neves to lift it forwards. Still at least a minute to play as Gibbs-White robs it from Donny van der Beek and then gets away from Matic. And now trying to release Fabio Silva down the left-hand side. And Saiz is now a makeshift centre forward as Wolves go in search of the equaliser. Neves wide to Fabio Silva again. Leaves it for Marçal. Played all the way back in field to Willy Bolly. And Bolly's carrying it forwards. And Bolly striking. Oh, it wasn't far off at all from Willy Bolly.
what a shot. What a shot. That would have been a nice way to see the season up, wouldn't it, if he got that on target?
Nuno smiling and applauding.
He's probably not used to seeing him that far up. Struck it well.
Would have been some goal.
Yeah, he was just looking at the replay. It was always going away, wasn't it? And then Nuno smile.
William Fish is on for Daniel James. Tottenham are now 4-2 up at Leicester, so Leicester are missing out on the Champions League again. Chelsea, despite having Zara Spilicueta sent off late on and losing at Aston Villa. It's only that Chelsea game and this one continuing to play. We're in added time of added time. Can Wolves find one more moment? Neves trying to get Gibbs-White in behind. Brandon Williams challenging with him. Gibbs-White desperate to win the ball back. Too desperate. Manchester United free kick. And a yellow card for Morgan Gibbs-White.
That was his sense, I think, wouldn't it? I think this is Mountain that's got in the yellow card. The rain still comes down.
Henderson to launch it forwards into the 7th minute of time being added on. Volley's headed clear. Van der Beek forwards. Martinho intercepts. Neves will try and launch it downfield. Fabio Silva giving chase. Eric Bailly there with him. Fabio Silva has got a touch to it. United, two players getting each other's way. It'll be a Wolves throw. And still we play on.
Two Man United defenders and he's still fighting with them. He was always, that's a disadvantage there running for me.
Volley's going forwards. Saiz is in the penalty area.
Come on.
Marçal to launch it in. Marçal's ball didn't quite reach Bolly. Martinho trying to nod it forwards, cleared away by Elanga. And that's it. The season comes to an end, and the Nuno era comes to an end at Wolverhampton Wanderers, beaten by Manchester United on the final day. One Matters penalty in the first half after Nelson Semedo had scored his first Wolves goal to equalise Anthony Elanga's early header. Wolves pushed and pushed, didn't quite have enough. And in a season where Wolves have just dropped off from the wonderful heights that we'd reached in the previous campaigns, a mid-table finish is not the end of the world. Lots will change. It's been an incredible roller coaster ride. So many memories have been made. We thank Nuno and his staff and everybody who's played a part in it. There will be more to come in this journey of Wolverhampton Wanderers. But for this season at least, it finished off with the result Manchester United beating Wolves by 2-1.
Yeah, so it's a shame it's just come to a miserable end, just like the weather a little bit. But I say it's end of an era for Nuno. So I wish him all the best and good luck with everything that he does. Yeah, but I thought in that second half, so we did push Man United. We pushed them back for quite a lengthy time. Just couldn't get anything. We had a couple of half chances, but nothing really concrete. But again, so mid-table, come back next year, fighting again for those top places.
Well, all the players are gathering in the centre of the field. Manchester United players just finishing off with handshakes and whatnot, and then all the Wolves players will get together. The group will come through. Scenes reminiscent of the win against Olympiacos in the Europa League last season. Everybody got together in a big group. Nuno in amongst it. You can see it on your screens now. Those of you watching on Wolves TV and via the official Wolves YouTube channel. See Nuno is getting a hug from his former player, Alex Telles. Chance of Nuno's the special one. As all the players take it in turns to hug the head coach.
Well, it's credit to him, isn't it? What the fans think of him shows just how well he's thought of in Wolverhampton. What a job he's done.
There will be an emotional moment for him, for many of his staff, many of those players, and so many inside this stadium and who wish to be here as well. As Nuno waves goodbye to an adoring public who bought into the vision, who believed in the idea, and who joined in the dream. It's been a wonderful 4 years where so much has been achieved. He leaves us in a much better place than when he found us. And for that, we will be eternally grateful. It's just, me and Tomo will go quiet for a moment and we'll let you just enjoy some of the sounds and sights of this final day.
Just listening, the Wolves fans in the south, they want that punch, don't they? Punch that Nuno gives after games.
I think they might get their wish, maybe. He's considering it. Raul Jimenez out with the players as well as they've gone on their lap of appreciation. Here we go. It's been a wonderful ride. One that has united us all in ways that haven't happened to this football club for an awful long time.
The players are giving the guard of honour as well.
From mid-table Championship to mid-table Premier League, doesn't have a bad ring to it at all.
No.
2 seventh place finishes, an FA Cup semi-final, a Europa League quarter-final. The second best win record of any Wolves manager in our history. The 7th man on the list, all-time list in terms of games taken charge of. He has left an indelible mark on the history books of this famous football club. And this moment, above all else, will mean an awful lot to him. The respect of his players, more than anything. The long-term injured are out there as well. Johnny amongst them, Daniel Penance too. And look at them all together as a group. They arrive together and they will leave together. Every single day of their lives dedicated to making Wolverhampton Wanderers better. The strength of the Wolf is in the pack, from its coaching to its playing setup, to those in the stands and beyond. And a special hug and a kiss for his captain, Connor Cody, who perhaps epitomises the journey we've been on more than most. From Championship central midfielder to England international. And Nuno heads down the tunnel one final time. We have always said on these occasions that these are days that will live long in the memory. The eternal moments, the spirits that lifted us, that have taken us to places that so often felt so far away. And the journey is not over. It will continue. A new season will come. And Wolves, once again, will take to the field and aim to fulfill all those dreams that we hold so dear. Emotional moment. Your thoughts on it, Andy Thompson?
Yeah, it just shows you what everybody thinks of him, and everybody in the club, players, the staff, and the fans. The fans just shown their standing ovation when he's walked around. And how many times do you see that where a manager's leaving for the crowd to be the way that it is? And it just shows you what he's done for this club and how he's gone about it. He's got everybody to buy in to everything that he's done. He's got everybody to believe the way that he wants to play and the beliefs that he's got. And he always says it's all about learning and progressing on and making sure he does it right. And he's definitely done that. And so, like, it's a shame he's going, but so football goes on. But so, like, you can see what he means to everybody involved with Wolves.
Yeah, it's a sad day. It's the end of a chapter, and change is always difficult. It's never easy, especially when you've enjoyed so much of what has gone before. But there is still plenty to be optimistic about. We have a wonderful squad of players. They may have been beaten today. They may not have had the season that's reached the heights that they've reached in previous years. But it's a squad full of talent, full of heart and character, and a group who will hopefully go from strength to strength. I said earlier that nobody would have thought we would have got to this point 4 years ago. Just imagine where we could be in another 4 years. What could be achieved? Well, we're going to get you some reaction, and we will continue to talk through this game and the season as well here on Matchday Live Extra. Chris Owolamo and Claire Hegman joining us from home. And I guess just thoughts on those scenes first, Claire, as not just a former Wolves women player, but as a long-time Wolves supporter. I know your kids have been here today as well. You were messaging me in the week about having to break the news to them. The Nuno was leaving as well. It is such a surreal and emotional time, this.
Yeah, totally. I think you could just see how emotional it was for the players there. And I think it probably did affect them at points in that game. It was probably tough to take 48 hours afterwards and then playing your final game with nothing really on it for either side. And you could kind of see that. But I think it's been an amazing 4 years, hasn't it? It's been an incredible journey. So many moments that we've got to take from it, and it was just great to see Nuno getting the send-off he deserves, because to be fair, for managers, I don't think that often happens. You know, sometimes they can be out the door and they don't get that goodbye at all. And although we'd have liked 30,000 fans to be in there, like, amazing opportunity for those that were in there today to see it. And it was great for him to feel that, although obviously it's ended for him now, I think he totally appreciates how well he's thought of from a fan's perspective. And I think that's a great place to be, isn't it?
Look, he has. He's been amazing, hasn't he? You know, a fantastic character. Did you see his reaction when he actually looked up and seen the players in position to give him a guard of honour? You know what he is. He's the respect's there, and it goes both ways. You know, he treats them as human beings. His man management individually has been excellent with them. He's improved them. But you know what? He's learned so much here as well. You know, he's got so much back from the players, the fans. That was emotional, I've got to say. You know, I'm a cool, calm guy. You know me, Mikey. But it is. He's been amazing for our club. So yeah, we got to wish him all the best. And he's put the foundations in, and he's left us in a very healthy position. And we've just, like you say, we carry on, haven't we? We've just got to kick on from it now. And Tomo's touched on it there about progression, about keep moving forward. You know, little steps, whatever it is, but we keep moving forward, and we're an established Premier League club, a long way away from where we were when he first came in. So, job done, really.
And there was glimpses, wasn't there, towards the end of that game of the potential future. Again, we saw Fabio Silva getting involved in amongst it. Morgan Gibbs-White coming on. I can see you nodding along there, Claire. You know, these guys are the players that have got to take this club forwards, because they're the ones who could be here for a number of years to come.
Yeah, for sure. I think the youth breaking through, I think, has been one of the big positives, and the fact that Nuno has embraced and really used the youngsters. I mean, some of it's been enforced, but some of it's been by choice as well. Good to see them break through and see the youth, with Corbanu getting minutes, obviously, the other week as well. So also the positives that we stayed up. So, you know, that's fantastic. But that was the main target, wasn't it? But also, like we said before, the players that have just been managed so well, like Fabio Silva, Adama Traore. I mean, from his first season with Nuno, you know, he didn't look half the player he did. The next season, it was like a new player we'd signed. It was ridiculous, his progress that he made, and the work that they did with him to get into the level he's at now. He's unplayable, and I think him missing out at the start today and getting injured really did make a difference to the team today.
Just pause there, because we're going to get some immediate reaction to everything we've seen here at Molyneux today. Joining us, no, he's not quite ready yet. Apologies, I've been given some duff information, but yeah, it is that point, isn't it? About you know, there are players in amongst it, and the one thing that strikes me as we were talking about that, because you mentioned Adama Traore, is obviously he went off injured in the first half. We saw Johnny, and we saw Daniel Podence and Raul Jimenez, who've kind of been in and around the group today and in and around it. And Willy Bolly was injured for a long period in the season. And so I guess too was Leander Dendoncker for quite a period, and Pedro Neto missing at the end of it as well. You know, sometimes people look at injuries like that as an excuse. It's not an excuse, is it really? Because that is a whole host of players that they have been missing this year. Tomo?
Yeah, so look,
Marcel as well, by the way.
Yeah, Marcel as well. So, but you look at it, so we've not got a massive squad anyway. And to have the people injured that we had, and in key areas as well, you're looking at, we've never been a team that score a lot of goals anyway, but to take Neto out, Jimenez for the biggest spell that we've had, he's going to be a massive blow to us. So look, we haven't got a massive squad, as we said, and he keeps a small squad. But there was people who got injured in key areas for me. Johnny getting injured, coming back, we looked at a different team when he come back. Unfortunately, he got injured again. But it's just been a season that you want to try and forget it a little bit, don't you? So look, it's the way that things have gone with the players. But again, it's important that we bounce back for next year now and make sure that we get behind whoever comes into the team.
Tom, I just pause there because, as you can see, we have been joined by Ruben Neves. Ruben,
hi guys.
Great to see you on Matchday Live Extra. Just try and sum up for me, if you can, the emotion of that last couple of moments out on that field.
Well, it's hard. After 5 years I worked with the Gaffer, it's hard to see him leave. I think he deserves a little bit more. He deserves the full stadium for him, but that's how we go at the moment. It's all we tried to give everything for him today. Didn't get to win, but I think we did a great job. Mainly on that second half, we just control every single minute of the game. It was important for us. Now just wish him all the best, to him, to all the staff that helped me a lot, that helped this club a lot, and wish them all the best to the future.
I guess it's that it's not just you, is it? It's everybody feels that respect, and respect is a key thing in football sometimes, isn't it, Ruben? And you have to earn it, and clearly you all felt it.
Well, of course. For amazing years he did on here, I think he put the club to a level that it's really hard to achieve. That's why I told you he deserved a little bit more. But it's done. He did a great job. He needs to be proud of what he did on here. And now let's rest and think on the future.
I say, Ruben, I say all the players that he's brought into the team and the squad, they all look like they've improved. They've all looked like they've enjoyed being under him. But it just shows you what a manager can do to a team, and how you can do that through training, and the respect that he has from the rest of the players and the staff.
Yeah, of course. When he came back, when he came here 4 years ago, the club was in trouble, and it changed completely the club. It changed completely the mentality of the players, of the fans. We always want more, and I think, like I said before, we did a great job with him. He did a great job with us. We improved a lot as a players. We improved a lot as a team, and mainly I think the club improved a lot with him as a manager.
Ruben, what do you think is your best moment under Nuno? So thinking of obviously FA Cup semi-final, Europa League qualification, which has been the best moment? Was it the Championship winning or?
Well, we have a lot of great
Lots of them,
moments.
yes.
Lots of them, to be honest. Of course, our first year was incredible. I just loved that first year. The way we played, the way the fans were with us on the Championship, the way we deal with the league, that it's a really hard league to play. And then the party after, when we get promoted, was unbelievable. But then we went to Premier League. Our first season, we get to the Europa League, to the quarterfinals of Europa League. We get to the semi-finals of the FA Cup. It's a lot of moments. The second season, we get 7th again, which is really, really hard to do in a league like this. This is a really hard season for us. We fight for something different. We were in trouble, but we showed our character. We showed our team spirit, and I'm really proud of every single person on the club.
Ruben, I have to ask you, Nuno has created a fantastic environment for you to come and work in. How important is it the experienced players? You're one of those players that you keep that nucleus, that environment is as special as it is.
Yeah, that's what I told you before. It changed completely the mentality of the club. We have a win mentality now. We always want to win. We go to every single stadium to win. And it's hard. It's hard to do that in a league like this. That's why I told you. Yeah, he did a great job with us, with the club, because it changed completely the way the club looks to the games, the way the club looks to the league. And like I said, we are grateful to him, to all the staff that worked with us on these 4 years, and wish them all the very best to the future.
And talking of the future, Ruben, we've just been discussing the performance of Fabio Silva again today and Morgan Gibbs-White coming off the bench. There are some really talented young players beginning to make a real impact here.
Yeah, that's all about. It's all about hard work. It's all about the team spirit, like I said, and the experienced players are here to help them. It's not easy to come here and start playing on the highest level straight away, and they need time. And I think Fabio showed that this season. He improved a lot since he came to the moment we are. Morgan as well. They are really good talent players. Vitinha, the same. They have a lot of quality, and I'm pretty sure with our help they will be really important to the club.
Are you going to be able to get some kind of a break this summer?
I'll try. I'll focus now on the Euros. It's my first big competition with the national team. I already played the Nations League, but now it's a European Championship, so it's really good for me, really good for the country, and we'll try to do our best there, and then I'll see if I have a break or not.
Or just some time with the family, I imagine.
Yeah, of course. That's the main thing. I'll try to have some time with them. Like I said, it was a really hard season, not only inside the pitch, but outside the pitch as well. Really hard for everyone. So let's try to have a moment to have a rest, to think about the family, and to gain energy to the next season.
Ruben, really appreciate your time as ever.
Thank you very much,
my friend.
Thanks.
Good luck this summer.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Ruben Neves joining us live on Matchday Live Extra. It is such an important point to make, Tomo, that a lot of these guys are young men who have been away from their natural country for a long time. The pandemic has meant that they haven't had the support structure around them in terms of friends and family that they would ordinarily have. And we may never know what kind of an impact that's had on results and performances, and added together with the ridiculously long season last season, a lot of things just added up in the end.
Yeah, it is. And they say it's just been one thing after another, hasn't it? So like the season last year, so like coming to an end, and I think was it a 2-week break we had before we was getting back into the training again. And so like, and not just physically, it's mentally as well, that it takes its toll on you. So like, and the players have done really well. So look, and again, we've had those injuries, we've had the problems with that as well, to certain people and big important people to us in the team. But you touched on there about the families, not having your families with you, and sometimes when things are going against you or things have been tough, i.e., you get injured or you just want somebody to talk to or a friendly face, it can be difficult, especially if your family's all back home in Portugal, and it does become difficult, especially if you're a young lad coming into the side as well. You haven't got nobody to come with you as such. You can probably bring your parents or somebody with you from your family, but it's still not the same, because let's say, you know that when players have come here, Conor Cody's open arms, showing them around the city, getting them involved in certain things outside of not just playing. And it all goes together, which makes it very difficult for players. And don't forget, they're all young men coming into this game, and it's quite straining on them as well.
Just off the back of that, the positive side to it is when we get back to some sort of normality, then we're only going to see them get better, because that environment away from the football is healthier. And then they come in and you know what, they've got smiles on their faces all the time, and that will improve performances as well. So that's the positive side. You know, whatever normality is going to look like at the other side of this.
There is an element, isn't there, whereby, you know, look, we know there is going to be a new head coach. We always probably thought, and we've discussed a lot, Claire, over the last couple of weeks about potential changes to the makeup of this squad. And we kind of briefly touched on it beforehand about the fact that there are players out on loan who will now be looking to come back and maybe have more of an opportunity than they've had in the past. And there will be changes. We might well see some players move on. You know, we've talked before, João Moutinho is not getting any younger. Other players in that similar kind of situation. So it's going to be really fascinating to see what Wolves are like when the new season comes round.
Yeah, I think obviously they're going to have a big break. Some players are going after the Euros, but at least this time round they're going to get a full pre-season and an organised pre-season to give them that preparation time, to give the new coach time to have a look at all the players that are at their disposal. I think it's just been so disjointed, hasn't it, this year? There's been, you know, players in and out for COVID, international breaks that have massive injuries, and there were so many positives to take with Neto breaking through as well, and really establishing himself, and then obviously he got injured as well. So I think the new head coach will really just take the time to have a look at the players. Some players we may not see again, but I do think exactly what Tim said earlier, in that we don't need masses of changes. We kind of don't want to come back next season and see a whole new bunch of players. Obviously, it's not going to happen because it's not the way football works, is it, at the moment? So what would be great to see is some of the youth breaking through. But I think some of those key areas that we've spoken about before, the box-to-box goal scoring, centre midfielder, maybe a striker to take the pressure off Jimenez when he comes back, because obviously it might take time for him to get settled back in, and maybe a centre half as well. But there's lots of positives. The new coach is going to have other ideas, aren't they? So it's what they come in with and who also they bring with them.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating, isn't it? I guess kind of then the awards the other night, Pedro Neto picked up both the Players' Player and the Player of the Year award. Fabio Silva was the Young Professional. I guess who would you have given it to? Looms, I kind of saw you nodding there in agreement that Neto probably the standout this year for you.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was the main man, wasn't he? He was unplayable, important goals as well. You know what we got to remember is that we're a very good squad. You know, the depth was definitely tested this year. I feel that when a new coach comes in, I think of course he'll bring in his own players, but it'll be quality to add to the quality that he's already got. I think Claire's spot on. A proper pre-season where he can assess the squad, see the strengths, and I think any coach that comes in, no matter how well they know the squad and the players, I think they'll come in and be very, very pleasantly surprised at the quality that's here. Neto for me was the standout. It was an absolute shame, the injury, because again, in the big games where it's tight and you're fighting, you're doing well, he had that extra little bit of quality that could make a goal from nothing. Fabio Silva, I think, forever the professional, coming on, making a positive impact. He's getting better. He's learning all the time. He's going to be a much better player for it next season, as are all the young players. Ryan Rory coming in, and then, kicking on. Semedo's getting better and better. Got his goal today. So there's so many positives. It's not a new coach coming in and just ripping everything up and starting again. He doesn't have to. We're in a very, very good place. We've got some big players coming back to fitness. That's only going to add quality, only going to put more points on the board in certain games. We do need probably, and it's probably what Claire says, that spine of the team. A striker, that box-to-box midfielder, and then a centre back, because you've got all the quality in most other areas.
Tomo, was Pedro Neto a worthy winner of Player of the Year for you?
Yeah, I said on the night when you had me on the stage, I said Neto for me was the player for it. You say, when he's coming to the team, he's made a big difference with his pace, his confidence at actually running with the ball and getting at teams. I just thought that you're looking at a player who's going to improve a lot. Still a young boy, or young man, I should say. But he's still a young man. But again, what he's shown, the talent that he's got, and again, the confidence that he's got in his own ability, and he can score. And he's always going to be a threat. If you've got somebody who's as positive as him, who can run at defences, who's got the skill to beat players, but more importantly, can finish, he's always going to be a threat, and he's always going to be a bonus for you in the team.
We mentioned right at the start of our show today that I would ask you all for your favourite moment of the last 4 years. You've had plenty of time to think about them. Claire, I'll come to you first. What are you thinking?
It is a really tough call, to be honest, because there has been so many of them, hasn't there? I've never been to a game at Wembley to watch Wolves as a fan, but for me, it was more on a personal perspective. My son walked out with Diego Jota for the Leicester Wolves game at home. So obviously he scored the winner. Nuno goes charging down that touchline, the South Bank end, but the atmosphere was electric. The game kept turning. It was just it was a great day. It was one of those games. I've got a lot of family in Leicester as well. So for me personally, that was the game that I kind of pick out as a key moment.
Looms.
I think it's just that championship season. I remember, you're working, you're thinking about, the players coming, the championship. It's, it's relentless, isn't it? It's game after game. Are they going to be up for the challenge? And you know what? They blew it away. A brand of football. They got kicked, they got up, they played the football. And it was just, it was outstanding to see, and worthy champions to go up the way they did. It was outstanding, and then just carry that on into the Premier League and finish where they did. It was one of those things. Even when in the Premier League you went on, we went on 3-4 games without a win, mixed it up, good management, changed it, done whatever it did just to stop the rut, and then back to winning ways. And that's a sign of a fantastic manager. Is always evolving, always changing things, always getting better. And like you say, always solving the problem. So that championship season, I think it took everyone by surprise and blew everyone away. And then obviously we kicked on from there.
Tomo?
Yeah, so I can't disagree. I just think that like a breath of fresh air coming into the club, and just the quality of players that he brought into the team. And you're thinking this could be the start of something, as it was. But I always remember going back and you screeching at the Cardiff game away, Bristol City away, and Nuno in the stand when he was the old gentleman was pushing him away. So there were two big men on and the Neves goal here against Derby. So you're just looking at the quality of what we had in that and the way that we won it. Because no matter what you bring in or who you bring in, the quality of what you have, you still got to go out there and perform. And I think in that championship year, I think that we were by far the best team in the league. But I always remember as well people saying, we'll see what these Portuguese are like when the snow and the weather turns bad. I'll tell you what, they never showned away from anything. They made sure they were up there and battling throughout that season. So, yeah, 7 spots as well for the Premier League. So good, but championship for me.
Yeah, it says an awful lot that I don't think any of us can really pin down one exact moment, although there is something that stands out for me when we beat Sheffield Wednesday away in the championship season. And after the game, Nuno called me and Tim Spears to come and sit with him in the stand at Hillsborough, long after everyone else had gone and long after most of the media had departed too, on a Friday night before Christmas. And he sat there and he pondered about the idea that one day there would be Wolves fans lining the streets, waiting for them to arrive for games or waiting for them to arrive back from games. And we then saw the reception that they had here, the tour on the open top buses and West Park that followed mere months later. And even today, the fans outside in a bit of rain, they weren't just there for Tomo, they were there to greet Nuno and the Wolves players. And it's a wonderfully fitting tribute that even his own players lined up in tribute to him. That's just about it for us for this season. My thanks to Claire Hageman and Chris Awellamo and all of our pundits and guests this season. It's been absolutely brilliant to have such a varied list of people who have been involved all the way through. Thank you again, of course, to the man that I take the mick out of most weeks, but he knows I love him, Andy Thompson, who's been with us every single step of the way.
It's been a pleasure, Michael. I've enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, mate. Thank you to our producer, Yanni Makarunas, who is never on camera, but he's always sat a couple of feet away from me down here. And he's literally the man who kind of keeps it together. It would all fall apart if it was left to me sat here to try and do this. So thank you to him. And thank you to all of you for being a part of our coverage this year as well. And just kind of remains to say, I guess, that after 4 years, 199 games, a championship title, 2 7th place finishes, an FA Cup semi-final and a Europa League quarter-final, Nuno is woken from his dream. Memories that will last a lifetime, an eternity to go through. But as his chapter ends, the page turns and the story that's been 144 years in the making continues. And I posted on social media the other day, and I truly believe it and mean it to the bottom of my heart, that whilst owners, managers, players, even commentators, we all come and go, the one constant is you, the fans. You are the beating heart and the eternal soul of this football club. And whilst you keep dreaming, we can all keep believing that things will always keep getting better. And that's what we're here to do. And we will do it again when the new season rolls around. Stay safe, stay well, keep dreaming, because as another bearded man once said, dreaming is for free. See you soon.
You're everywhere and nowhere, baby. That's where you're at. Going down a bumpy hillside in your hippie hat. Flying across the country